The question is, Salute, 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 and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now, we're getting deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. Yes, I know there were two intros. Okay, that was a mishap on my part. Even the best of us make mistakes. But welcome over here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing all right this evening. I hope that you're well wherever you are. I hope that y'all are spending time with your family and taking care of yourselves out there wherever in the United States or the world that you're listening to me from, be it live or if you're catching it on the playback. Family, we definitely have to go over this tonight. We're going to go over a portion of it. Not going to do the whole thing, but we're going to go over a portion of what the sister Monique was mentioning because, listen, let me tell you something, man. When the Cat Williams interview dropped over there on Club Shay Shay, shout out to Shannon Sharp. I am so glad that he decided to get from out under the, the vicinity of that dead Count Dracula face looking bastard Skip Bayless. Best thing that brother could have ever done. Yes, I may disagree with him on certain things, but I applaud any black man or black woman that goes out on their own and uses their own talent. Because today you don't need them people for anything, especially when you actually have a talent like a Shannon Sharp. So kudos to that brother for everything that he's been doing. But I didn't cover the Cat Williams interview because I said, okay, hey, look, everybody then had their say on that. But then our brother here comes back with, conversation with Monique. And Mark Cat Williams' word, he said that, hey, man, listen, if you've opened up your platform to be a place where people can speak the truth, then that's what's going to happen. Okay. So it's going to be very interesting to see who stops through there from now on. But let me go ahead and say this, right? Because I want to get this part out the way for the people that, may not actually have all their gears turning in their head. We get some of the short bus crowd over here from time to time. Salute to the good sister AH for the cash up. Everybody already showing love. I got to ask y'all something about that too. Thank you very much for that contribution, my sister. But I want to let, some of these incels know that, yes, I understand that her situation with her husband is not a traditional one. And if you want my personal opinion on that, no, that is not the way that you want to be as a man. You don't want to be a killed man. OK, so I'm just getting that out of the way. But that's not going to be the focus here tonight. We're going to be focusing on what the sister said that was true. We're going to be focusing on what the sister said that was right. And we're going to be talking about how, while a lot of people are gravitating to what the sister Monique is saying, because whether you're a man or a woman, what she's talking about, every one of us can relate to what she's saying as far as having dealt with somebody in our lives that applies to. Every single one of us, okay? So this is why this interview here is resonating with a lot of people, okay? So I just wanted to go ahead and get the preliminaries out the way. Now, the question that I want to ask you all, and I'll leave it up to you all to decide, because first and foremost, let me thank each and every one of you. Let me tell y'all something, man. And I want other people that parrot this to listen to what I'm about to say. All of that, man, black people don't support other black people. That's a bold-faced lie. Let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all support this platform so much that sometimes when the PayPal or Cash Apps come in, I think you all send so many sometimes that I don't get the notification. So like that's why the last couple of times, like, if I didn't read your name out on the air, which is what I like to do, that's what happened. I would never be the type of person that snugs my supporters like that. I know, hey, listen, y'all support, so I'm going to have to go double time on giving y'all what you want, okay? So just know a lot of the things that y'all asked me to cover, we're going to be getting to that Friday. If you've been following me on X, yes, I'm going to deal with that Sambo comedian David Lucas. I first saw that on the sister Nikki the Guy's timeline. And listen, I got something for him. Oh, I got something for him. Y'all be here Friday for that. We going to handle that in a way that most other people wouldn't address it, okay? So just know that's coming. On Patreon, Wednesday, we're going to be dealing with the Vince McMahon situation and the Puffy situation. I got a lesson to teach over there. That's going to be something that you sign up on Patreon. You're not going to want to miss that. But the question that I wanted to ask you all, brothers and sisters over here, what do you all think? Like, do you want me to wait until the end of the broadcast to shout out those of you that contribute by Cash App? Or do you all not mind me stopping from time to time to acknowledge that? Because, I've kind of heard some people say here or there But what do y'all think? So I tell you what, if you are okay with me, calling out the cash apps or whatever as they come in, give me a thumbs up. And if you would rather wait for me, wait, you know what I'm saying, for like the end of the broadcast, just type wait in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all a second to respond to that. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a second. Hey, boy, I see some funny stuff in the chat room already. Boy, y'all hilarious, man. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think, man. Because like, listen, over here on this platform, if you contribute to it, you have a say so in how things operate. Okay. So if y'all okay with me, because I like to acknowledge people. I'm not like these other platforms where people will contribute and they act like they don't see what you're giving them. Nah, I don't operate like that. And I'm not telling nobody how to run their platform. That's how I run mine, okay? So I'm seeing some thumbs up in here. Can I get a couple more? I want to make sure everybody's good, okay? See got one wait. Okay, I see one brother. Black Vulture, what's going on, brother? I'm gonna definitely give you a ring too, man. I'm gonna definitely give you a ring. Let's see. I think everybody seems to be okay with it. Okay, so we'll try to continue that way, but just know that if there's something over here that you would like to see different and you're a person that contributes, you have a say over here, okay? So I think we're going to go continue as business as usual, since everybody seems to be okay with that. And with that being said, let me scroll up and greet my esteemed guests that I see join us over here tonight. I see Patricia Slade in the building, Sidonian Snow, a little country lamb. Love your name, sister. My brother James is in here. V. Mosby and the fabulous legs are in the house. Lakeisha Morehouse, my good brother Unseen But Well Heard. ATLE_007, the sister Stuns Ed. My good brother Kid Gravity Beyond. Y'all should go sign up to that brother's channel. Check his content out. Gives excellent political breakdowns, in my personal opinion. You judge for yourselves. My brother Nightfall Drop is in here. Creative World Films is in here. Let's see. The good brother Black Vulture Reloaded. Derek Parker is in here. Tasha Peters. Diesel Mike is in the house. Hope you're safe out on the highways and byways, my brother. Patricia Jenkins, the wonderful librarian in the house. My good brother Project Leroy is over here. Let's see. Make sure I see CRU Reality. I see you. Hey, I see K Wright, the Juice Man in the house. What's going on? What's going on, man? Glad you made it. Let's see. Daro is in the building. Mrs. L, salute to you and your husband, sister. Goddess Navi and the wonderful Fro is over here. Let's see. Breeze Omega is joining us. Salute to everybody that will be joining us in attendance here tonight. So now, family, what we're going to do over here, we're going to do something a little bit different because, see, I support this sister Monique and anybody that steps up to speak the truth about that Hollywood industry in particular, because, see, a lot of people don't name names and they just say, well, this or that happened. We're like, okay, if it happened, then you need to tell us who's doing this, especially if they're wearing the uniform of our skin, okay? Let us know what's going on because, see, for me, this is my personal opinion. You all can tell me what you think. If you look like us and you mistreating us, we need to know who you are, okay? We need to know who you are because, see, when you get to the level of a Tyler Perry and you have an opportunity to put our people in a position where they don't have to be so beholden to that damn Hollywood cult organization, whatever you want to call it, where our people have to be pressed to do all kinds of ungodly and despicable things in order to ascend in their careers. If you're going to get to a certain level and then mistreat our people, we need you to call out these names. So salute to Cat Williams and the sister Monique for speaking on what so many don't have the courage to say. I applaud them for that. We need more of that because, see, if things are going to change in the community, people have to be bold enough to speak the truth. That's one half of it. But let me say this to all of you in the audience here listening, whether it's live or recorded that you listen to me. When you see our people going out on good faith and speaking the truth, we must stand behind them. And not just in entertainment, but any area of our lives over here in this country. Any area. That goes for even if you're not in America. Okay, even if you're not of our lineage. When your truth tellers step up, don't you leave them hanging. You make sure that you be like, hey, brother or sister, if you go out here and let us know what's going on, we got your back. They're going to have to come through us to get to you. Okay, we'll stand shoulder to shoulder with you. That's the new attitude that we need to have going forward in 2024 and beyond. Okay, and that needs to be across all age ranges. So I'm glad that Monique got up here and said what she said because, see, a lot of the people that she's speaking on, let me tell you something, man. I have lost so much respect for a lot of them that she has mentioned that I once had respect for, because what she's saying, let me tell y'all something, man. My grandparents often told me that the truth is always simple, and I've lived long enough to see that to be true. When you see people having to go out and make all these elaborate explanations, they hemming and hawing about what was said, okay, then you know they're lying, and you know that there's some truth to it, because just listen to how some of the people are responding. They not really, I only seen one call her a liar, but then again, when you listen to the things that she's been saying, you can tell when somebody had a hit dog is hollering, so to speak, okay? I'm going to say this right now. I know this is going to offend some people because, look, I know a lot of people. I know some of the people that she mentioned. Certain folks that I know are cool with some of them people. I got to say this, though. According to the account about what happened to D.L. Hughley's daughter, let me tell y'all something, man. Every black man in here that loves their children can feel me on this. Every woman that loves her children can feel me on this. Damn it. If I had kids and one of my children came to me and told me somebody did something to them, I'm going to believe my child over anybody else and then take a look into what was said. And I'm going to see if there's some truth behind it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the type of man, one of the reasons I don't have no kids, man, is because I know who I am, okay? It's one thing for you to say or do something to me. I can handle that. You touch flesh of my flesh and blood of my blood, I'm going to make the news. I'm not a guy that's going to wait on no court system. See, I tell you, the Most High is in a lot of people, because certain court cases where the family is sitting there and the killer of their children or the molester of their children is sitting right across from them. Man, ain't no way. You're not going to make it there. I don't give a damn who takes offense to that. Not mine. Not mine. You always, let me tell you something. You always believe what your children tell you and you look into it. You look into it. You don't never go, oh, well, this is because somebody that I like. Have you lost your damn mind? D.L. Hughley, you low-life, worthless son of a bitch. I don't give a damn who gets mad. I got to call you what you are, because as a father, you are supposed to be sword and shield for your family. You failed your child. Do you understand how that destroys a child? See, I'm speaking with such anger because I grew up in a family where we were all protected. You couldn't get close to us in the family to do a damn thing to us. And if you tried or you did, you didn't just have to worry about our parents. You had to worry about the grandparents, the men and the women. Let me tell you something, man. My great-grandmother and many of my other grandmothers and grandfathers, they were known to tote that iron. You hear me? And if you did something to one of their grandbabies, they was coming to see you. Hey, they didn't want to hear nothing if you did something to them. Now, there was balance to that, because we also had to be in the right, too, because they let us know, listen, now, I find out you wrong, I'm going to have to tear your ass up. But now, if you did something to one of us, oh, yeah, they were coming to see you. I can remember many times mine came down there to the school. See, I had a close-knit family where if you did something to one of the children in the family going to show up for the most part. They're going to be like, okay, we going to have to take a trip to this school then, depending on what the issue is. I know everybody don't have that situation, but see, that angers me when I hear that a father, a man, your baby, bro, for your friend, how do you do that? I don't understand it. So listen, that's my thoughts on that. I'm going to leave that alone because that's angering me in a way that words will not really, I'll be done got this whole channel shut down if I continue on that. But I had to get that off my chest. So what we're going to do, without further ado, for all of you low-life rodents that the sister Monique called out, you tried to call this woman a liar. You sat there and had her blackballed in an industry where you know how hard our people have it. Okay, and whether you like Monique or not, that's beside the point. Let me get this off my chest before we get started here. She has a point when she says, hey, if you're going to pay Amy Schumer X amount, millions of dollars, and she's much funnier than her, you damn right that sister has the right to ask for more money. I said that when she was talking about that in the initial outcome of that, okay? And I'm glad she was able to get her own Netflix special, but see, I want to see us in a position where we don't have to go to them folks. If you a Tyler Perry, and shame on your ooh boy, I'm about to call him something. Shame on you for not putting black people into a position where they don't need a Netflix, where we don't need the Oscars or Grammys or anything. We reward ourselves. Okay, we need to get into that position because see, just like with a lot of these predominantly white institutions, if we really had black-owned HBCUs and all of our black talent pulled out from there, watch how fast them schools will be go to the mediocrity that they are. You listen. I don't care what you do in this chat room. Sometimes, y'all, we have to pop our collar. We are the salt of this country. Without us, there's no seasoning, there's no flavor. We make it go around. We're the most entertaining people, but at the same time, we need to be benefiting off of that entertainment in our community. So salute to Monique and Cat Williams for bringing that up. So now, for all the people that try to call her a lie and everything, I'm glad this sister put that call out because I'm going to play that phone call. Oh, yeah, that's how we're going to start this thing off. I'm going to play this phone call, and I'm going to let it get towards the end before I make any commentary on it because, see, I love it when the truth comes out. I love it when somebody that was lied on has a chance to have their say and tell the other side. And see, I will say this about the sister Monique. She's a very patient woman. Do I agree with everything she says? No, I don't. But she reminds me of some of the women in my family. She does. She absolutely does on certain things as far as her principles are concerned. She absolutely does, especially some of my elders that are no longer here in my family. That's kind of the principles they stood on, the right thing, okay? See, remember when that low-life sellout Steve Harvey, yeah, I'm going to call you what you are too, don't care if you get offended. Remember when he was talking to the sister Monique, this ain't the integrity game, this the money game. See, you need to believe people when they make statements like that, family. Believe them. Believe them. They're letting you know who they really are. They are low-life snakes in the grass, and they will stab you and undercut you the first chance that they get. Always, okay? They'll always stab you in the back the first chance that they get. So I'm going to tell you something that's going to surprise you. I like it when those people do that. See, I've always said this many times. We're in an era right now where it's not really much room for you to hide. You're going to eventually have to come out and show where you stand. And that's either going to be with our people or against our people. This is a beautiful time to be alive, in my opinion. So with that said, we're going to play that phone call. Like I said, I'm going to let most of it play before I give my commentary on it. Because listen, man, a lot of them are nervous. A lot of them, what you're going to see, the aftermath from what her and Cat Williams have begun to do. We're really going to see a lot of people that we once thought were upstanding, men and women in our community. We're going to start to see a lot of them be like, damn, you? And see, here's what I'm going to tell you before I play this. When that time comes and you can clearly see that they've been exposed to be something that, you know, that's despicable, when you thought they were upstanding, each and every one of us has a decision to make about whether we're going to continue to support them or not, okay? Because, see, once you know something, you have a responsibility to act on that information. Then if you're going to claim to be a person of integrity and good faith, okay? Once you know something, now I'm talking about women. I'm not talking about individual petty stuff. I'm talking about people that are doing snakish things to people in the community on a collective scale. Then you have to say, okay, we're empowering you to do that. So one of the ways that we can deal with people like that, no matter who does it, is say, okay, cool. That's what you're going to do. You better make sure you get all of your support from them folks because we're not going to financially support you. We're not going to promote you no more. You can't come around us in good association and fellowship. We ain't got to do nothing to you, but we can leave you hanging too. And that means when them folks come for you, hey, get all your support from the people that you love to, hold on high esteem and the people that you treat so much better than your own. David Lucas, we talking to you. So with that said, I'm going to play this call. Like I said, I'll save my commentary towards the end of it. Let's get started.
The question is, what would you want someone to do for you who said things about you and or mentioned things about you, alluding to the difficulties that they had with you, all because you chose? I got an answer. How can you answer something and I'm not finished?
Okay, well, let me answer part of the question, and then you give me the other part. How about that?
Can you do me a favor? Can you, since you called up to have a real conversation, typically I know you used to directing, but what I need you to do is just hear me out man to man. And that is this. How would you feel if someone says something about you that you were not contractually obligated to do? What would you want them to do to make that right? And it don't have nothing to do with money.
If somebody had said that, let me just try to be in the position. If somebody had come along and said, Tyler's difficult, he's terrible to work with, he's not going to do anything that you want him to do. If they said all those things, right? If that's what the rumor was, and there were other people who knew that was not to be true, I would want those people to stand up and say that's not true.
So, will you and Oprah do that?
I can't speak for Oprah.
Will you do that?
It's my experience. I certainly can. I've never worked with Monique. All I can speak for is my experience on Precious. I don't give a damn about saying that.
Would you do what you wanted done for you, Tyler? It's real simple. Would you do what you would want done for you because you told David when he said his experience was wonderful, you said that was not your experience. And the question I would have, what did you experience with Monique and or I that made your interaction with us displeasurable? Especially,
I see exactly where you're going. What made my interaction displeasurable is to have to try to navigate between Precious, Lee, Monique not wanting to do any national press without getting paid, having to navigate through all of that. That's where my problem was.
But Tyler, this is where we are though. I'm talking in real time. But when you understand, because you're again speaking about other entities and components besides Monique. What we're saying is what made it displeasurable. But what I'm saying to you is I want your experience based upon your understanding that Monique, as we told you then, see writing those scripts or whoever wrote those scripts, they understand life.
Come on.
And I thought it was you. And if you don't understand that when you sit by and you say nothing when you know it's wrong, as you now said you know, and you agree, then what is the call really for, my brother?
What is it?
Okay. All right. I'm going to say this because I spent way too much time here. I thought that this would be a quick call that I could just call and say how I felt and to absolutely wish you the best. The only way this changes, I think the only way this changes, I think for you guys and where you are is this. I think Monique needs an amazing movie. She needs to be with a great director. And once the movie's done, it comes out. She gets all this kind of buzz. She gets all this that she did before, and then this thing goes away. That's the way this changes. It's got to be the right thing that comes along. Kind of some of the stuff that I think Spencer has been doing that comes along, or Viola comes along. She does that, and all of this goes away. I know that town and how it works. It's like, okay, that was a moment that's passed. She's amazing. That was wrong. So what you're asking me to do right now, first of all, I'm not going to get into this right now because it's ugly and it's nasty, and it came from a comedy skit. I don't want to be a part of it.
What is ugly and nasty, Tyler, about saying? Because we're not talking about the comedy skit. You're obviously not hearing what I'm saying.
That's where it's all
No. Here's the thing.
You said you don't want any chump change. Does that mean you do not want the money for Precious or what?
But wait a minute, Tyler. Wait a minute, brother. Hold up. Because see, now what happens is the billionaire's starting to come out.
Right.
Now what's happening is when you call and say, I didn't mean for this to take this long, brother, you called us. And see, what that said was when we first got the call, I'm going to tell you some real stuff. My heart skipped a beat because I said, okay, we get ready to talk to a real cat because he reached out. But now the tone you're beginning to take is, I'm a billionaire and I ain't got time for this. And it ain't going the way I thought it should. Wait, hold up, brother. Hold up. Because see, you'll start over talking. I ain't got time for this. And let me say this. And when you say chump change, here's the thing, baby. See, the community is involved right now. You know it and I know it. And everybody out there know it. The community is involved. And they want to see how it's going to play out. Because the community is saying, wait a minute, y'all. hold up. We don't know this sister to be no bullshitter. We know she a loud mouth. We know she'll say some shit off the wall. But what we know about her is she true to her word.
And all I would ask you is two questions. The first question is, did you not just say it was wrong?
Now I'm gonna pause it right there because we're almost at the end of this call. But let me tell y'all something, man. My father has always told me there's not one dime in this world worth their reputation, because see what Monique was saying right then about, okay, yes, she admits it. Nobody's perfect. Maybe she can be difficult at times depending on who she's dealing with or whatever. But one thing she said that she has a reputation for being known for is like, okay, if I say something, I'm not making it up. I'm telling the truth. Let me tell you something. If you work to be that kind of person, people that don't like you will say, yeah, you know, I don't like him or her. But for the most part, that brother or sister is honest. They don't have a reputation of making up things. They don't just say things for no reason. And whatever they say, they have a track record for saying, okay, I can prove what I'm talking about or what I'm accusing somebody of or, you know, addressing. Okay. So you can't do nothing but respect Monique for that. Now, if you can't, that says a lot about you, because see, I want y'all to pay attention to a lot of things that we're going to learn here in 2024, because this is just the beginning. The people that have an issue with somebody speaking the truth, that lets you know which side of the fence they fall on. Okay. And then you might want to start making some readjustments as far as who you dealing with, because see, a lot of this stuff, when people, you know, can't just say, okay, yes, that's the right thing to do. They're letting you know, hey, I identify with the Tyler Perrys and the Steve Harveys. How you gonna call this sister, then act like you don't have time to do this, and then you want the money or not? It just like that, talking to them like they're beneath you. See, before we let this play, I'm gonna say this one last thing here before we finish out this phone call here that they're talking. Money is similar to alcohol. People think that, oh, the money changed you when you get money. No, that's not true. No, that is not true. You better listen to me when I tell you. Money just makes you more who you already are. You just have more access to do the things that you wasn't able to do. See, the people that get those vast sums of money like that, and they start doing this snakish behavior, that's who they always really wanted to be. They just couldn't afford to do what they were doing before they had access to that money. So like you know that scripture that says, a drunk man speaks a sober mind. Okay, that's very true with people. So y'all better understand that. It is not money that is the root of all evil. It's the love of money and what people will do for it. That is the root of all evil. Let it continue.
Did you not just say it was wrong, Tyler? To say she was difficult for not doing something that she was not contractually obligated to do? Did you not say that you would feel that that was wrong? Or am I missing something?
I absolutely said that, yes.
So the question I would say is, but
I didn't mean to expend this much time on it, is because just like you were there with your beautiful twins, I got a little boy, and I want to make sure when I'm on, that's where my attention is.
Here's the thing. Then you shouldn't have made the call until you were able to talk. But the last question I would ask you, hold up. The last thing I want to ask you is this. It's real simple. If you said it was wrong, when do you speak up and say that it was wrong, Tyler? That's it.
Okay, then that means telling my whole experience, about how I feel about the whole thing. That means telling my whole experience.
Whatever you but Tyler,
explaining the whole situation.
Tyler, here's the thing. You are articulate. You is smart. Okay.
And you is kind.
And you is kind.
Okay? Listen to me. Listen, shit, this ain't the billionaire. This is me. You gotta cut all that out. This is me talking.
And there you have it, family. That was the call. Okay, the relevant portion of it. Let me say this right before we get on into hearing Sister Monique speak, because I thought it important to go ahead and play that first. Whether you agree with their situation, I'm talking about Monique and her husband, whether you like Monique as a comedian or not, I'm asking you to put that to the side. What I'm going to tell you is this. The way those two black people handled that particular situation when that took food off their table, when they were lied upon, or his wife was lied upon, you may as well say him too, because, hey, they're tied together, okay? They handled that with such class and grace that most people would not have, handled it with. Because, see, I'm going to tell you right now, if you mistreat me deliberately when I've done nothing to you, I'm the type of brother, I'm like, I'd rather not do it. I'd rather save all of my ability to exercise any type of, retribution or like recompense towards you. I'd rather say that for them folks. That's me. I'd rather not get into it with my own people, but I'm not going to let you shit on me. I'm quick to hit them lawyers up and get them on your ass. You hear me? And we'll just have to see how it plays out in court. But I'm not one that's big on talking to you too much when you've done me some deliberate wrong. Now, I'm a very patient man when it comes to somebody making a mistake, because none of us are perfect. Hell, hey, if I've done somebody wrong and didn't realize it, and they talk to me, hey, brother, you said XYZ or did this or that, the third. If I wasn't aware of it, you know what you get out of me? Hey, brother, sister, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not above that, because, see, you know what I'm saying? I understand that none of us are perfect. But this low down, dirty bastard, you sit here and lied on that sister, man, knowing what the outcome was going to be. Because, see, I've never had any respect for Oprah Winfrey. I've saw through that years ago, okay? So those type of Negroes, what they basically are, they're the type of Negroes that have always fantasized about being either white folks or being up under them folks so that they can do what they do to our people. See, they know they can't do that to other white people. And so they take a hopping bar approach, if you ever seen the movie Life, and say, okay, I'm going to be the one that's a pet of master, and I'm going to mistreat my own people. I have zero respect for people like that. And see, this is why I don't call everybody in the community a brother or sister. If you're doing things to deliberately hurt our people, you are not family to me, okay? You got a lot of people that have a problem with that too. They think they're taking the high road by calling everybody a brother or sister. No. If you are my family, you need to act like it, okay? If you doing things to harm folks, family don't do things to deliberately harm family. You understand? I know many of you in this chat room have probably had to cut actual blood family members off. Don't feel bad. I've had to do it myself. Oh, yes. See, let me tell you something, man. If you're a good-hearted person and you know that you don't deliberately go out your way to harm anybody, it's okay for you not to let people harm you. All of us were put here to be used. All of us have a purpose, but none of us were put here to be misused. You understand where I'm coming from? So with that said, we're going to get into analyzing the first portion of this interview here. And I want y'all to really listen to this, because like I said, I will stop it at certain parts to make certain points. But for the most part, I'm going to let this rock, because, see, a lot of people have problems with what she's saying here and what Brother Cat Williams said. You got a lot of people, oh, you shouldn't have did it like that. Judge Mathis, well, you shouldn't be saying that in front of them folks. Let me tell you something I believe. If it's a minor thing and it's something that was unintentional, hey, we handle that behind closed doors. But if you publicly disrespect me and you lie on me, I'm going to handle that shit publicly. You hear me? I'm not obligated to take that behind closed doors. If you outright lie on me or disrespect me in public, you're going to get what you get. That's how I believe now. Some of y'all might disagree with that. I'm telling you how I am. You come at me publicly with some disrespect, just know I'm coming, especially if you lie. And if you lie the wrong way, it's going to be some litigation behind that. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll show you better than I can tell you. I damn sure will. So without further ado, we're going to get into analyzing this first section of this. And like I said, I'll be stopping it where need be to point out certain things that a lot of people didn't touch on. Let's get started.
Welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharp. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. And the young lady that's stopping by for conversation and a drink today is one of the best loved comedians. She's one of the most decorated actors. She won an Oscar, a Golden Globe. She's a British Academy Film, Theater, and Arts Award. She's a Scripps Howard Guild winner, NAACP Image Award winner. She's been nominated for a Primetime Emmy and a Grammy. She's a talented host, executive producer, writer, and an author, a versatile entertainer, a famed Hollywood star, a powerful name in the industry, a veteran stand-up comedian, a mother, a wife, a legend, the one, the only Monique.
Wow. Wow. No one does that better, baby.
Thank you.
Do it again. Say all that again, baby.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon
Come on
Shaw.
now. Put them damn cards down and read all that again. Oh, brother, thank you. Thank you.
When we stop by, I want to toast you for your amazing, amazing career. Not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera and your stand-up career. Monique, thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me, brother Shay Shay.
Thank you. Better drink some water after that one.
Okay. Who? Yes, indeed. Let me just say this before we start.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk right to the sisters. One sip. Get you right there. Now I'm back to you, Shay. I'm back to you, baby. That's enough for me, baby. But, oh, sisters, if you're trying to make up with your man, if you're trying to get pregnant, this right here is Shannon Sharp. One sip. Take care of all your woes. Woo, baby, that thing right there. Okay.
Monique, when you hear everything that I read on the card, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
What goes through my mind when I hear you read that? I'm humbled by that. I'm grateful for that. I've been allowed to share a gift because that's what it is. But when you start reading that, there's a part that says, who is he talking about? And there's another part that says, I'm grateful that I was able to put that work in to achieve those things, but all with humility.
You said we were talking off camera. You said, I want to get something. There's something I want to share with you, and I need to get it off my chest early.
Because that's why I'm looking at you now. Like, why are you going into that? Because I told you we could not talk till I dealt with you.
Okay,
listen. Okay. So let me say this to you. The day I watched Skip Bayless lose himself with you, and that's what he did. He lost himself. And when I watched Skip Bayless say to you, put them goddamn glasses back on, boy. Now, I know he didn't say goddamn and boy, but that's what everybody heard. And I was waiting for you to snatch his ass across that table, baby, and give it to him. I was like, Shannon, this is the perfect time. I don't condone violence.
Right.
I don't say be violent. But that day, I was in my feelings for 2 days. Me and my grandbaby could not watch you for 2 days. And my husband had to say, Mama, let's talk about this. Look at Shannon Sharp. He retired in 2004, but he could still get on that field and run touchdowns, tackles, everything. Had he snatched Skip Bayless across that table, he would have died in Shannon's arms that day.
Right.
So Brother Shay Shay handled that right. Now we can talk.
Now, let me give her props for bringing that up. Because, see, let me talk to my brothers for a minute, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. That's the type of character and integrity that our sisters are supposed to have. Because they're our counterparts. They're supposed to be the mirrors of ourselves and say, hey, brother, this is not you, okay? You're not supposed to be letting anybody disrespect you. Now, I agree with, what she said. That was handled the right way as far as him not physically touching Skip Bayless and let Skip Bayless through or touch him. Because, I covered on this channel, I was extremely disappointed in Shannon Sharp. I was irate at it. That broadcast is still up. I was pissed off because, see, brother, you wearing my uniform. You one of the biggest, strongest black men that's on TV. And to see him sit there and take that kind of disrespect like that, you know what I'm saying? And I understand he was trying to be professional. I understand he was trying to keep that job. But, man, let me tell you something. Sometimes you have to say, fuck that goddamn job. Because, see, just like if he would have got up and said, I'm done with that, and I understand that he had to look at his contractual obligations. But if he would have said, okay, no, I'm not doing that. Let me go ahead and get Club Shay Shay started early. He would be doing the same numbers, if not better, than a Skip Bayless because he was the real flavor of that show. Let's just call it what it is. And I'm not a huge sports fan. I'm just talking about the natural charisma that black men and black women bring to anything that we touch. Everything we touch turn to gold. Everything. Without us, this country and them folks wouldn't be entertaining at all. They don't even want to watch each other like that. That's why they always trying to get up under us. So that's what I was upset with Shannon Sharpe about, okay? And what he's doing now, I'm glad to see that. I don't want him to have nothing but the utmost success in what he's doing. I don't have to agree with everything he says to wish another black brother or sister success. So I'm glad he's doing that, all right? And I'm glad that she reminded him of that and brought that to him to let him, because see, look, sometimes, man, sometimes there are men out there, and I'm going to say all of us at times, that we need our women that are upstanding to remind us of who we are. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, look, as black people, period, we have a lot to deal with in this world. I've always said it that when a black man or a black woman walks out your house, that's the equivalent to being set on fire. And when you come back to your home, that's supposed to be the place that those flames are put out, and you are in good company with your spouse or your partner, whatever the case may be, and you reaffirm and rebuild each other up, okay? You're supposed to be each other's strength. So I'm so glad that she took the time to let that brother know how highly she thought of him and how highly the community thinks of brothers or sisters that make it like that. None of our place is supposed to be subjugated under them people. Because, see, I'm going to tell you something, man. I would have loved to see Shannon get up and just walk off that set right then. Like, nah, who you think you're talking to? I'm a grown-ass man. Your children are at home. You don't tell me to put my glasses back on or nothing, especially when he was being disrespectful. And see, let me say something to you mediocre mayonnaise bastards. A lot of you, really, the rule should be if you didn't play a professional sport, nobody should want to hear your commentary on it. How you going to comment on something from an expert opinion you never played the damn game? But anyway, I digress, family. Let's get back to it.
Okay, I just had to get that off of me because I know everybody around the world heard what I heard. No, he didn't say them words, but we heard it in his mind, and we was looking for you to say space and opportunity, Skip. Space and opportunity.
That's that B more coming out of you.
You know what? That's your Aunt Mary coming out of me. That's your Aunt Mary coming out of me, baby.
I got an aunt named Mary Nell. Monique, you and her are a spitting image. I remember the very first time I saw you, and my sister and I, we were talking, and my sister looked at me and I looked at her. I said, she's a spitting image of my Aunt Mary. And you are. Hopefully we're going to put pictures up when we run this. So you're from Baltimore.
Yes.
And I read everything that I read. When you were growing up in Baltimore, what did a young Monique want to be?
Just what I'm doing right now, baby.
You dreamed of this.
Just when I tell you, Shannon, from a little girl, I always wanted to be famous.
Okay.
Because I saw the Jackson 5.
Okay.
And I saw people screaming for them and hollering. And I'm like, damn it, I want them to scream and holler for me, but I couldn't sing.
Right.
But I knew somewhere I was going to be famous.
Right.
So I prayed to the universe, just let me be famous. I didn't understand what all came with that. Mm-hmm. As a little girl,
right.
You just see the lights, the glamour, the glitz, and you fall in love with that. So that little girl fell in love with the lights, the glamour, and the glitz. That little girl fell in love with a woman named Oprah Winfrey on a local talk show in Baltimore called People Are Talking. And when I looked at that woman, Shannon, I saw me. I saw a big woman with a big head, big shoulders, and big feet. And I said, if that woman can do that, so can I. So that's what that little girl was thinking about from Baltimore.
Are you the type person that if you see someone do something one time, that means it can be done again? Because you saw Oprah do it. You say, well, Oprah doing it. Why can't Monique do it?
I think Oprah, when I saw her do it as a little girl, was a push. Mm-hmm. However, had I not seen Oprah, my dreams would have still been my dreams.
Okay.
But when you see somebody that's inside of that space, because how many big black women are on TV even now?
Correct.
So back then, you didn't see any big black women on TV that was doing it. So I think had I not seen her, I would have still wanted to do it. But seeing her, let me say, okay, it's possible. It's right there.
Right. What was Monique like as a little girl?
What you seeing right now, baby, ain't nothing.
So you always...
listen, let me tell you something. A lot of people in this industry don't like me, right?
Yeah.
They didn't like me as a little girl, Shannon. I'm so used to this shit. People didn't like me because I was going to tell it. I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell on you. So what you saying right now is the same thing you getting. They tried to fight my ass in the 12th grade, Shannon. They surrounded me, a group of them. Okay, wanted to fight on me. Why? Because I told the truth.
What you tell?
I told Andre that was not Lawan's baby. Because that's what Lawan.
That ain't your place.
Let me tell. Wait a minute, Sugar. You gonna calm yourself down? Okay. Do you see Shannon losing himself with that? You better back that up, Shannon. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a person for right.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. And if you tell me something and you say, Monique, I've done something to somebody, but don't say nothing. Shannon, I'm going to need you to fix that. Because if you don't fix it, I'm going to have to tell that because it's wrong. So when she tells me this is not his baby, but I'm going to tell him it's his baby, I can't let you do that. That's not right. Wow. So what I stand for is right. And I think where we run into a problem in our community, in our group, we get so caught in, well, that's not your place, but you see wrong happening, right? So when you see wrong happening, what you do? Do you just stand back and say, that ain't my business? Or do you look and say, well, I knew that wasn't his baby. Now the baby 21 years old and he's trying to find his father. What you gonna do? I'm asking you, what you gonna do?
Well, honestly, Monique, if somebody say, well, Shannon, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you this in confidentiality, and I don't want to go any further than me, you, and this table.
Yes.
It stays with me, him, and the table.
Well, let me say this, because I'm going to go back and forth with your ass, okay?
Now, let me pause it right there, because, see, she brought up something very important, family. I'm going to say it like this. Our community will be a much better place if the average black man and woman operated just like she said, okay? Now, I understand there's certain things that people would tell you in confidence, but I would let that person know, okay, whatever you're about to tell me now, depending on what it is, especially if it's something that's, you know, could change somebody's life in a negative way or somebody's in danger, now you're not obligated to keep those types of secrets. I'm not going to do that, okay? So I somebody can tell me something in confidence, but now if what you telling me is you know something that affects somebody's life in a negative way, especially if it's involving a lie, you know what I'm saying, on a brother or sister in the community, especially one that's trying to help their people, no, I'm not gonna go along with that. I'm not gonna go along with that. And like she was saying, if you tell me that you've done somebody wrong, hey man, make that right, man, make it right. But see, you got a lot of people in our community across all walks of life. Unfortunately, they look, I'm just going to say it for what it is. Too many of our people have sought to emulate the dominant society as far as like how they treat their own people. They look at that and they think, okay, yeah, let me get a little bit above the average black brother or sister so I can look down on my people and do what Master do. Look, those, I've said this before, those are some of the people that are descended from the folks that should have never made it off them plantations with us, okay? But I'm glad that she was speaking about things like this because, see, this lets you know that whether you like Monique or not, that's a person that's still grounded to the average black person in the community. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say in all aspects, but I'm talking more so like about her value system, okay? That sounds like probably somebody's auntie in this chat room, huh? Probably got a grandmother like that, huh? Tell me I'm lying, huh? Because I know she reminds me of some women in my family with certain issues that she's speaking on. So I'm glad that she had the courage to do that because, see, for me, I'm going to tell you right now, man, most of these people that she's talking about, I'm waiting to see how a lot of them respond because that's going to tell you whether she's telling the truth or not. And especially the ones that don't just come out and fully deny what she's saying. You'll call her all these names, but you won't call her a liar. Okay. Just know people like me are watching that and we're going to judge accordingly how to deal with you. Let's let it continue.
I would say before you tell me, did you hurt somebody?
Yeah, okay, yes.
Before you tell me, is this something that would make me question your character? Before you tell me, you got to be clear about what you get ready to tell me. Because if you're getting ready to tell me something and I know that you've done something wrong, I know that you're wrong and I not say anything. That's why people are allowed to keep harming people for years to come. See Harvey Weinstein?
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of people that knew what was happening.
But they felt it wasn't their place.
It wasn't their place. Them. Right, until it becomes you. So I think the moment we get into a space, and I was in the 11th grade at the time, right. Okay? But when we get into a space where we say, listen, If I know you're doing wrong and I take a position that's not my place, eventually you will succumb to what you support.
What was your relationship with the young lady that told you this in confidentiality?
I'm not going to focus on, I was in 11th grade, now I'm 56. But when she told me, I told her, I'm going to tell. See, I'm that. I'm going to tell him what you said. So we clear. I'm going to tell him what you said because that's not right.
Oh my goodness, Mo.
See, I think that's the problem that we're dealing with right now, Shannon.
Okay.
When we know something is wrong. Everything Cat Williams sat here and said.
Right.
We all know it to be the truth. However, we get so caught up in, well, I ain't going to say nothing.
Right.
Well, can you believe he said it? Or can you?
Or it's the messenger.
It's the messenger, baby. We get so caught up in the messenger that we'll overlook the message. People have a hard time hearing a 5'5" giant tell the truth. People have a hard time with a black woman over 200 pounds tell the truth because people that look like us, we should just be grateful. We got invited to the party.
Right.
We should just be grateful that someone paid us attention. I've dealt with that my whole life. I've dealt with that. So when you get to a space where you say, listen, I want to be free. I want to be free. I don't want to walk around intimidated, scared, fearful. What might happen? What they going to say? What they going to do? If it's your story and it's the truth, tell it. Because what you can do is be in a position to prevent it happening to someone else over and over and over again. So if I go back to the 11th grade with that sister who's no longer with us, rest her with that sister, I would do that again. Because if you tell me something and we know it's wrong, but you're going to pin that on somebody else, is that right?
No, it's not right.
And what would your Aunt Mary do?
Now, let me pause it right here because, see, I've said this for years on my channel, okay? The truth is not just something that's right or upstanding. The truth is a protection from harm, okay? Lies are not harmless, all right? Especially those types of lies like she was talking about that, you know, that classmate of hers was engaging in right there. That would have ruined that brother's life, man. You know, so now the problem that I have with Oprah Winfrey, okay, she knew what Harvey Weinstein was. So now if you're going to come up on a public platform and act like you care so much about black women and black people, you know, let's leave black men out of it for a minute. You love black women. That's what you say, Oprah. So if you know that Harvey Weinstein was a predator and you're not going to warn the other sisters about him, you just go, and then that says something about her. You know what he like and you still going to kick it with him? See, at the time when those allegations came out about that school in South Africa that she was running, a lot of people didn't really want to believe that. But I'm like, Oprah, I'm starting to look at you and Tyler Perry like, yeah, if them folks come to you and they trying to do something underhanded, even if it involved hurting other black people, you'll probably go along with it as long as it's a little bag in it for you. I'm starting to think that a lot of them are like that, but y'all make up your own minds about it. Let's let it continue.
Man, Monique, I swear, Monique.
You're not answering my question. What would your Aunt Mary do?
Well, she gonna tell it because you gonna tell anything anyway. So yeah, they probably know not to tell her.
But that's why you love Aunt Mary, because Aunt Mary kept it in check.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't want to tell her,
right,
she was gonna tell that baby, you know that's not your daddy.
Right.
We're not gonna play like that. You love Aunt Mary.
I do. The uniqueness of your name, M-O hyphen. Most of the time, Monique is a singular. It's not M-O hyphen. What was that like? Because people say, oh, you trying to be different. You trying to be bougie. You know good well you spell your name Monique like everybody else spell Monique.
I do. That's my stage name. When I'm not on stage, my name is M-O-N-I-Q-U-E. When I'm on stage, it's M-O, the little hyphen, N-I-Q-U-E. That's just entertainment.
Did you ever think about changing it to the hyphen?
No. On stage is one person. Off stage is somebody different. And sometimes we get the two mixed up.
Right.
On stage, I am an entertainer.
Right.
Off stage, I'm a wife, I'm a mommy, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm these different people, but I keep that stage on the stage.
How
Now, let me pause it right here and say something in Monique's defense, because a lot of people get on this sister's case by judging her by her comedy act on stage or when she's in an entertainment atmosphere. I played that phone call for a reason. Now, I want y'all in the chat room to give me a thumbs up if what I'm about to say is accurate. Based off those of you that were here when at the beginning of the broadcast when I played that phone call, did Monique sound like her stage persona, or did she sound like a sister in the community that carried herself with some class and dignity trying to get an understanding from somebody that did her wrong? What y'all think? See, I do things over here on this channel in a specific order for a reason. I want y'all to tell me, give me a thumbs up. Did she comport herself in a classy manner during that phone call with Tyler Perry, who admitted that he lied on her, okay, and damaged her career? Did she or did she not? I want y'all to tell me what you think. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if she comported herself differently from her stage persona. Because, see, we've all seen, most of us in here, I'm assuming, have seen Monique do her stand-up comedy. We've seen her do her stage routine. I didn't hear none of that in that phone call. I heard a person keeping composure, even her husband, because, boy, oh, my God. As a man, for those of you that are married men in this chat room, come on, man. That love your wives, y'all know how we are about our old ladies, man. Okay, and I'm not married, but I'm saying, you know how we are about the women that are under our charge and our protection. We really, you know what I'm saying? We really don't have no tolerance for another man doing our women some wrong. That brother comported himself a lot better than most of us would have been able. So I see most of you said, okay, yeah, that was a different Monique. So I'm saying that to say this. This backs up the statement that she made. This is true. She does carry herself in a different manner off stage. And that's an example of it. Because she had every chance to call him everything but a child of God. I didn't hear that. I didn't edit that phone call or anything. I played it as is, okay? Other than me stopping to give my commentary when I did, I didn't change nothing on that. I didn't change nothing on that, right? So she's vindicated on that particular issue. Let's let it continue.
How much of stage is actually Monique?
That's good, Shay Shay. That's good. All of the stage is Monique, but there are certain things Monique's going to say on stage that she wouldn't say off the stage. Okay. There are certain things on that stage. You know, there have been people that said, oh, she cussed so much. Oh, I'm a performer. Right. I'm an entertainer, and I'm on stage. But no one will ever find an interview of me doing what I do on stage in an interview like I'm having with you. It's two different things.
Right. What type of student was Monique? I read that you were in, I don't know if this is the correct way, but you were in the class that...
The slower one.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you had a couple...
Say it, baby, now. I want you to say it. You want me to... Spell it out.
How about this here?
Hey.
You got 2 naps. You had 2 recesses.
Okay.
And you stayed in the same classroom.
Okay, but I did not wear a helmet.
Okay.
Now, since you want to go there, I did not have to wear that helmet, baby. So, yes.
Mon, as I sit here with you today, you didn't all of a sudden become this advanced. Why were you in that class?
I'm not going to play with you, Shannon. Okay, some of them damn words Cat was using, I was like, what? I said, oh, he's socking it to him. You know, I never connected with school because I always felt like it wasn't adding up. So when you're trying to teach me about the Boston Tea Party, but people that look like me is at the bottom of the boat, I can't connect to what you're saying. I never connected to, because I always felt like something was off. When they were teaching me about history, we were always the savages, and we were always the bad people. And then you saw these white people be all the heroes. And as a little girl, I said, something's not adding up. So I don't look at that as a bad thing. I just didn't connect with it. It made no sense to me.
So you...
Now let me pause that right there. Because see, what that sister just said, damn near all of us can relate to that. Let me tell you something. I was always a honor student in both in grade school, high school, college, okay? I always did well academically. But I can remember from the earliest years of going to grade school, my mother and my father tell me, look, boy, we know that's not right. Just put the answer down to get the grade and pass the class or whatever, and then we'll talk about the truth when you get home. Because my parents made sure I understood a great deal about the lies that were told in the American public food system, as I like to call it. And see, we were born, or created rather, in a spirit of truth, okay? That's the default state of life, is truth. So when you hear something that's not true, even if you can't put all the pieces together, even if you don't have all the information, something in your spirit is going to tell you something's not right. You're going to be like, wait a minute, there's going to be a reason you can't connect with that. So see, as far as our people are concerned, black people, black children, a lot of this may not be that these children are slow. Maybe they understand that what they're hearing is a bunch of lies and they disengage from that. See, a person that has a spirit that is rooted in truth, you can't connect with a lie like that. It is damaging to you. It's like it's a protection in your spirit that keeps you from latching on to lies. Because see, if you look at the American public food system, it's made to create worker drones that don't really think for themselves, indoctrinated with a bunch of lies, and they tell you that the white man created everything, they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. They don't talk about our heroes. Huh? You know what? We're going to get right back to this interview, but I want to share something with you all. I want to share something very important with you all. Because see, it is Black History Month, and for those of us that really love our people, we celebrate our history year round. I'm going to share something with you that a lot of you may not know about, and some of you may know about. I'm going to share something with you, okay? Let me go here and get this. I want to share something with you about who I consider to be one of our heroes, okay? I'll put this article in the chat. I want y'all to bookmark it and come back to it and share this with your children if you haven't already. Article in the chat that I'm going to put in here is about a foundational Black American freedman sister named Elizabeth Freeman. Now you say, well, GBS, what was so special about her? Well, for those that don't know, she was the first Black person to sue the slave master to get her freedom successfully and won. You understand me? That's a hero to me, amongst the many others that I've covered over the years on this channel, okay? So I want y'all to bookmark that article and read that for yourself. That's a piece of history that you probably didn't know about. And other heroes in our lineage, Robert Smalls. If you don't know who that was, that brother right there, let me tell you something. You're talking about something that's worth making a movie out of. This brother was a slave, and during the time he worked near a harbor and a port, he stole a ship and put his whole family on there and sailed them out of slavery. Let me tell you something, man. Our people are phenomenal. You hear me? We actually have heroes that if we made movies about, you can say, no, that's not embellished. That really happened, and we got the records to prove it. Okay? So I just wanted to get that off my chest. Let that continue.
Never had a problem with the learning, but the disconnect was what they was teaching and what you actually saw. You like, what you teaching me is not what I actually see.
You know what, Shannon? It's a combination.
Okay.
It was a combination, okay? I wasn't grasping it and I didn't believe it. So it's a combination. And when you have a child that is full of energy and is sitting in a classroom that is closed in all day long, and you're trying to tell me all that I'm not, it just did not add up to me. It just did not make sense to me. So there's no shame to it. When people say, was you in the soul class? Yeah. You know, we colored.
So when you...
Hey, baby, we colored. But don't overlook what you don't think is the package supposed to be.
Right.
See, again, we come back to the messenger. Nobody thought that I would be. And I'll go to my family. Like, nobody thought, not the fat one. She's not going to be the one, not her. So I've been used to people doubting and counting me out. And for me, as that little girl, it's like one day. And that one day is right here.
Even your family. So how was your family? How was your brothers and sisters? Because I mean, look, I got a brother and sister, and you know, we joke with each other, and I can imagine if the situation were, if one of us was in those class, oh, we gonna get them jokes off, Monique. It is what it is.
No one paid enough attention.
Really?
Like, no one paid enough attention, because though we lived in a household together, we were very individual. So no one even paid attention to what was really going on, and to include my parents. And that's not a victim story. That's not, oh, what was me? It's just what it was. So it wasn't like, oh, you dummy. The jokes were always fat. They were always fat jokes. Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So I'm so used to that. But
are you the only one in your family this
baby, the only one that sneaks snacks. I'm the only one that'll sneak them damn snacks, Shannon. Right. I'm the only one. Yes.
So what would you say your relationship then and now was with your family?
Well, my relationship now with my family, they're my biological family, and I wish them well.
Mo.
Well, here's the thing. I watched you do I think it was like a little clip, and they were talking about interracial dating.
Yes.
And you said, why would somebody stay where they're miserable?
Right.
That applies everywhere, Shannon.
Oh, okay.
It just doesn't apply to that, especially in our community. We've been taught, take care of your family, make sure. Well, there are some families that deserve it. And there are some families that you have to say, listen, I'm so glad we had this time together. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Yeah. That's where I am with mine. Mm-hmm. I wish all of them the best, but that's what it is. Yeah. So even as I sit here with you now, with all that's going on in Hollywood and all of the stuff I had to go through, I've already been through it with people that you call your family. And I have to say, you know what? That has to just wash off when I know what I'm standing in and what I'm standing on.
You're absolutely right.
I give her so much respect for having the courage to admit that and actually do it, because see, let me tell all of y'all something in this chat room. Yes, family is very important. You do need family, but you need good family. I'll say it again. You need good family. You are not obligated to live your entire life being mistreated by people just because you blood related. If those people want you to do right by them when you become successful and want you to take care of them, then you are well within your right to say, wait a minute. Wait just a damn minute. Wasn't you the one that told me I wasn't never gonna be shit? Wasn't you the one that was always causing an issue and a problem, lying on me, you know what I'm saying, siding with people that were my enemies? You are well within your rights to make the decision to say, hey, you know what? We'll always be blood related, but I don't owe you a damn thing. Now, I don't have to hate you, but I damn sure don't have to go out of my way to do anything for you either. You live your life to the best of your ability, and I'm going to live mine. Because, see, life is very, very short. You understand me? We don't know when, and heaven forbid it, but none of us knows when our last day on this planet is going to be. I don't. Let me speak for myself. I don't. Because speaking intelligently, there are some people, exceptions to the rule, that might have a terminal illness or something. They might have been given a diagnosis, you know, with however much time they have left. Those are exceptions to the rule. But the average person does not know the day or the hour. So I'm going to tell you, while you are here amongst the living, drawing breath, gather here in this chat room, listen to this live or recorded, I want you to remember these words. If you don't agree with nothing else I say, but I want you to let this sit with you. Life is for the living. You better get all the enjoyment out of life that you can while you are here. And if that means separating from people, even your family, that subtract from your happiness, that subtract from your health, that subtract from your well-being, that subtract from your progress and growth as a person, you let that go. Because if you don't, just think about all the things that are in the world that were meant for you to experience that you'll never get close to. Let it continue.
Hey, Monique, my grandmother used to always tell us, she'd say, son, teeth and tongue may fall out, but family never should. And she stood on that. No matter what transpired in the family, no matter how bad someone had treated you, you should never fall out. But hearing you say that's different, because just because we're blood, that doesn't mean we're family through blood. But sometimes it's somebody on the outside that's not blood, that's actually closer family than the actual biological.
We've been taught to say trauma is okay. We've been taught to say, you mistreated me, you abused me, you violated me, you disrespected me, you belittled me, but I'm supposed to look at you at Thanksgiving and say, how you doing, Unc? That's what we've been taught. You swallow that pain. That's why people have such a problem with Cat Williams. People have a problem with people that says, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. And that causes a ruckus. And you would say, why are people upset with the truth? When you hear Steve Harvey say, there are repercussions when you tell the truth. Well, remember when we were children? What would your grandmother tell you?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, because if not, there will be what? Repercussions.
Right.
Well, now it's got turned around. When you tell the truth, there'll be repercussions. So what's the opposite of that? Should I tell a lie and get a reward? So that's how we're rolling right now. That's how we're dealing with one another right now. So when it comes to family and people saying, oh, Monique, how could you? Listen. I want to live the rest of this journey that I have in peace. I want to be with my family, in love with my man, he in love with me. We watch our babies grow and develop their own families. I don't need anything in the midst of that, because you family, that I should accept that trauma. I should accept you not taking accountability for what you've done, what you've said, and we just washed the slate. That's why we're in the position we are now as a community, as a Black community, as a community in entertainment. Everybody's been so afraid to say, look what they did to me. Look what they said. And it's like, oh, well, listen now, we don't want to ruffle no feathers, especially if the messenger doesn't fit what people should think the messenger is supposed to look like.
Right.
And we keep repeating history, Shannon.
Is it a situation, Monique, where people look and say, well, you made it thus far? Well, it couldn't have been that bad, because if it has been as bad as you say it is, Monique, how would you have ever gotten out of B-More? How would you have ever gotten into Hollywood? How would you ever have a talk show? How would you ever be on a sitcom? So how is it that bad, Monique, and you end up like this?
You know, when you first got in the NFL,
yes, ma'am,
your eyes were like this.
Yes.
And it was, oh, I made it. I'm here.
Right.
And then after you start getting in it and you started seeing things and you started feeling things and now your eyes start getting a little closer, because now you're understanding what the business is.
Right.
So when you first walk through the door, you're walking through the door saying, come on, baby. Oh, this is all I've ever prayed for. And when my baby Cat Williams sat here and said, no one's ever gone out to LA and got a sitcom like that. I was in LA for 3 months, and here comes a show called The Parkers. And there we go from there. It took off from there. So I think that when people say, if it was so bad, you mature. You begin to understand what you're dealing with.
Right.
You begin to understand what you're in the midst of. And once you understand it is when you can speak on it.
Right.
But before you really know what you're looking at, how do you speak on that?
Right.
Because when you first walk in the door of Hollywood, you have everybody telling you, oh my goodness, you're going to be amazing. Oh my goodness, this is going to be incredible. Well, that's all you know.
That is all you know.
Yes.
But you're so happy to be here.
Yes.
And you're like, okay.
When I listen to your story, you say dirt poor.
Yes.
Bathroom outside.
Yes.
It was, we had to make it work however we can make it work.
Correct.
And then you get that first big check.
Yes.
And you think the people that gave it to you is awesome because they gave it to you. And it's more money than you've ever seen before, until you find out this ain't the right money. This ain't the right amount. Wait a minute. If they got this, why am I getting this? Then you start putting the pieces together and you start saying, it's not right and I'm going to speak about it. See, when I saw Taraji broken on those platforms, it was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you know, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why didn't it get the traction when you said it that when she said it? Now all of a sudden everybody is coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Monique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big, fat, black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're very specific.
These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it. And if I don't say it out loud, now you see a woman that is swallowing that pain, that is so stressed out. Then you see our sister Taraji P. Henson sit on that platform. And I love that baby because she's a beautiful spirit. But to see her that broken, what our community was saying was, we have a hard time, some of us, we have a hard time seeing a strong black woman with her back straight and a chin up and a strong black man standing by her side. We have a hard time accepting that, but we can.
Now, let me pause that right here because, see, this is what makes the low-life Oprah Winfrey and the Tyler Perrys and the Steve Harveys, etc., so despicable. Because, see, there's more than one way to buck break somebody. It's not just sexual abuse. It comes in the form of conditioning you to accept that slave-like mentality that was inflicted on our ancestors, where you're supposed to serve everybody except for yourself. And if you do get something, it's supposed to be crumbs off the table. Now, we expect that of them folks, okay? We expect that of them. We know what white supremacists do. We expect that. We don't accept it, what we expect it. Where the problem comes in is when those that have gone ahead, that understand how things work, instead of them saying, okay, here comes this young brother or sister. I see they're rookies in the game. I see there are things they don't know. Let me take them under my wing. And if they'll accept it, hey, sister, watch out for that. Hey, brother, no, don't do that. Hey, don't ever come to no business deal hungry. You're supposed to be gaming them up, especially the young people. All of our people, but especially the young people. And when I say young, you know what? Let me use young a different way. If someone's young to an industry, even if it's an older person, if they're a rookie, so to speak, you should feel obligated as a veteran to look out for them. Say, hey, nah, you know what? I'm going to make sure that they don't run into the things that I wish somebody would have told me when I didn't have the advice there. See, that's a blessing to get to a point in any industry or particular field where you can say, okay, I see a young black brother or sister coming. Let me head them off before them folks get to them. Hey, let me go ahead and school you on how this, and this goes. This is what to look out for over here. See, that's a blessing to get to that point. If you are a person that's connected to righteousness and truth. Now, if you're not that type of person, you okay with doing them folks dirty work. Because, see, again, I keep bringing up the Willie Lynch letter, whether you believe it's real or not. Look at the conditioning process in that letter. You see our own people, like Monique is speaking about, they're doing massive work for them. You know, think about it. The white supremacists don't even have to directly deal with you. They got bootlicking Sambos and Sambets that will do the process for them. And see, the whole purpose of that is when somebody keep mistreating you and they keep you on that hamster wheel of oppression, it demoralizes you to start thinking, well, nothing's ever going to change. This is what I'm supposed to get. This is the way it always has been. This is what everybody does. This is just the way it is. I'm going to tell you something that white America fears, white supremacist America in specific. They fear a black person stepping off that damn hamster wheel of oppression and saying, you know what? I don't have to put up with this. I can build, create, and control my own. Kiss my ass. Keep your little peanuts. I'm going to do for myself. Yeah, I might have to go around the goat path to do it. It might take me a little bit longer. But damn it, I will not be on your hamster wheel of oppression while you make all the money off my talent and then you hand me peanuts, if anything at all. That's what they fear, the greater majority of us across the board. Getting that mentality and actually showing them better than we can tell them. I'm talking about the day that comes when we not making any type of protest about you won't let us in the Oscars. Oh, you didn't give us a Grammy. The day when there's none of that anymore and black people say, you know what? Fine, cool. You want all white people to have these awards and these accolades and participate and get the top roles, is that you can have it. We'll go over here and build our own. And when we do, we don't want to hear nothing about no inclusion of your people. See, to be honest with you, oh boy, I'm finna make some people mad when I say this. But damn it, I'm over here on my platform. I got to tell the truth. What I wish, and I hope I see in my lifetime, I hope I see that when we see our people being mistreated, I would love for, whether it's the athletes, the entertainers, the actors, the business class, black people, everybody across the board saying, oh, you doing that brother or sister like that, even though I'm not in the NFL, NBA, I'm not an actor. Okay, bet, I got something for you. Your M&Ms, your Bubba Sparks, your Paul Walls, even if they cool, they got to get the fuck out of our culture. How about that? No. I told you, I'm gonna make some people mad. Listen, let me tell you something. If they're not gonna treat us right, we don't need to treat their people right. You teach people how to treat you. You understand? Think about what kind of message that was in. Like, oh, okay, bet. Everybody go back to where they came from then. Ain't no more plates handed out at the damn cookout. You don't treat our people right? Fine. We not gonna accept none of y'all over here in our culture. Let's let it continue.
Accept seeing a black woman broken. Now it's really serious because she's falling apart. Our community had a hard time with those two things. And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a black man would stand with his black woman. So when you hear black women saying we're the most undervalued, disrespected, underserved, mistreated, violated, exploited, we get all of that. Then you see a black man standing with his black woman saying, not on my watch. And you hear some black men saying, why her husband gotta be there? We're in a sad state of affairs when we begin to question black love and black unity. So they didn't want to hear me, some of them, because of what I look like, because I spoke about their heroes, and because they saw that man standing right there strong.
Did they question the validity, because we had never seen this before, not so public, not so present.
Yes.
Did they question you and his relationship?
Me and my husband?
Yes.
When you say question,
what it's like?
Because they did, but I want to understand what
because, okay, did they think that was your husband, or what was he, your manager? Because he's been everything. Yes. He's your lover, he's your manager, he's your confidant.
Name him.
He's the father.
Come on, name him.
Whatever he's all encompassing.
Yes.
He's a toolbox with all the tools that Monique needs.
All of them.
And so when I heard people saying that, why is he there? Why does he have to be in every interview? Why does he have to be in the background? Why can't Monique do that? Why not?
Why not? Why not? And that's when you see, and these are my sisters, but when you see Taraji, when you see Viola, when you see our sisters speaking out, you never see their representation sitting right there with them. Mm-hmm. You never see them saying, listen, we got to fight together.
Right.
My husband is also my manager, which is my representation.
Right.
But again, we've been so beat down that some of us have a problem with this black man saying, I'm standing right here strong, and I will not flinch and I will not budge. What a sad state of affairs we are now in, where you have people that look like you and I that would question why this man is standing there. That, for the life of me, is disheartening. When we heard Brother Malcolm say, we've been run amok, we've been hoodwinked, we're now doing it to ourselves. We're now doing it to ourselves. So when you say, Monique, it was different because we had never seen that before, you said their names. Let me say this, I'm not the first one.
Right.
I'm not the first one, but we get washed away in history so easily that we start thinking, oh, this is the first one. This is the first one. Her name is Claudette Colvin. And she's not the first one, but she was before Rosa Parks. But because Claudette Colvin did not fit the picture that they thought she should look like, she was dark skinned and she had coarse hair. And because the organization, I believe it was the NAACP, did not think she would be accepted by the white people, they had to get somebody that they said the white people could accept. We keep repeating the same thing.
Now, let me pause it right here and make a correction. And I'm making this correction out of love because what I'm about to say, you can verify. I've even covered it on this channel. You probably heard other people cover it. Love this sister Monique. Everything she's saying is spot on up to this point. The reason why Claudette Colvin was not chosen at the time, and you can verify what I'm about to tell you, history backs me up. At the time, she was pregnant, but not only was she was pregnant by a white man, okay? Now, at that time, if they would have chosen her, it didn't have nothing to do with her skin color, okay? We got to correct and tell the truth about this, because this is what we're talking about over here tonight. Didn't have nothing to do with her being dark-skinned, okay? It had everything to do with how that would have looked at the time, because, see, you got to think about how the media is today. Think about if they would have went with Claudette Colvin, pregnant by that white man, okay? How that would have been used. Because, see, look, let me just say it what it is. Look at that nigger. She deserves it anyway. He's having a child out of wedlock and all. I mean, them low-life, no-good rednecks, that's exactly how they would have played that. So that would have kind of handicapped things. That's why they chose Rosa Parks. It didn't have nothing to do with skin color. So I had to graciously correct my sister on that, okay? Everything else she's saying is spot on. If you don't believe me on that, you can look that up. I have that history on this channel, and you can find it for yourselves. But let's let it continue.
Because what I said is no different than what anyone else is saying. Not at all.
Right.
It was the messenger. And it was the way that I'm not putting my head down. I'm not shedding one tear. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say their name because I might get in trouble. I'm going to say all of it.
Right.
Because when you really think about that little girl coming behind you, what I don't ever want that baby to see is me broken. I don't want her to see me falling apart. And I understand it. I understand how it can happen, Shannon, when you may not have a foundation at home,
Correct.
When you may not have that man at home or that woman at home, whomever, that support person saying you're not crazy.
Right.
I got you. Come on. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through this. So for us, if we start taking things for what they are and get out of our emotions, we would be so far along.
Do you believe punishment? Punishment is not only meant for the perpetrator, but it's also to deter others from said acts.
You see it.
Do you believe the punishment that was bestowed upon Monique was not only to punish you, but to deter others from saying what you said?
Well, Shannon, see here, and I'm going to answer that. But sometimes we act like we don't know our history. See, back in the day when they had us in chains, they would beat one real good.
Right. But in front of the others.
In front of the others, and they let everybody know what you don't want is that type of ass whooping.
Right.
So what they said was, we're going to beat Monique really good. We're going to sit her down. And I made it public. Financially, my family took a hit, Shannon. And when I tell you we took a hit,
right,
we took a hit. So when you see our sister go through that, You see her go through, and we act like our eyes didn't see what it saw when we watched that promotion happen with The Color Purple.
Right.
We wanted to act like we didn't see how Oprah Winfrey treated Taraji. In my humble opinion, when you saw her walk up, you saw that there was tension. You saw that there was something happening.
Right.
And then when you see Taraji write her a love letter, it's like, listen, we got to stand tall and stand strong on what we know. We know you were mistreated. We know it wasn't right. We know it was unfair. And then you turn around and say, oh, but Lady O handled it. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because that allows Lady O to keep on doing what she's doing. And we're in a position of, I don't want to say nothing because we saw how Monique got whooped. Now, again, that's just my humble opinion. But I don't know I don't know how else to frame that. It's like, listen, you better fix that because you saw what they did to her. You saw how they treated her.
Is it a situation?
Now, I want to pause it right here, and I'm going to throw something out here. And this is what I think should happen. You all make up your minds whether you agree or disagree with this or not. I'm all for our people being paid what they're worth and getting their fair shake no matter what you do in this country, okay? I believe that whether you're a black man or a black woman, if you can perform up to task on whatever job that you own, you should be paid what you're worth, okay? You should be paid what you're worth. What I like to say to the black celebrity class is this, though. Just as I would like to see you paid what you're worth, we're going to need y'all to start listening to the black grassroots and the average black person when we tell you, hey, we don't want another Color Purple misrepresenting the image of black people or black men in specific with that film. We don't want another Precious. Love Monique to death. Couldn't stand that movie Precious. We don't need to see any more of that. So when we say, hey, listen, we don't want no more of these. And if you come back and tell us, well, these are the only roles they're offering, then you need to let us know that so that we can link up together and say, hey, listen, these are not the only roles that you're going to give black folks. Now, if that's what you stuck on doing, then we'll go over here and create our own. See, in this country, yes, there's a socioeconomic wealth gap due to racism and white supremacy. However, the system of white supremacy cannot stand up on its own without the participation of other black people. That is the truth. So, if we know that, being that we do still have multimillionaires and a few billionaires, there's no reason for us not to at least make the attempt to build our own everything. Hospitals, you name it, whatever it is that's a service, we should have a black-owned one running with all these wealthy people in this country. However, the reason that you don't see it, it's not just that all the white supremacists sabotage it. A lot of them, they don't have their hearts in it to do these things for the people in the community. They don't. They out, they made it, they got theirs, fuck everybody else. But they always want us to come support them, okay? For the Tyler Perrys, the D.L. Hugleys, and, the Steve Harveys, et cetera, et cetera. They always want our support, don't they? See, we need to get into it's going to be blood in, blood out. You want the support of the people? Then you got to support the community, too. That's how it was at one point in this country. That's how it was at one point. But see, the further that we got down the line, they started using the Trick Baby theory. If you ever seen the movie Trick Baby, hey, don't mistreat all of them. Let someone come sit at the table with us so they feel like they're one of us. Take their best and brightest out from amongst them and corrupt them. And hey, we own them, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but y'all have seen the movie. If you haven't, that's a very good movie to watch and study. And speaking of that, I'm going to have a lesson regarding that David Lucas situation here Friday. So you need to go on the live stream tab and make sure you hit the reminder for that. That's going to be something y'all don't want to miss, okay? I had to go ahead and remind y'all of that again in case you're just coming in here. But that's something that I wanted to throw out there. Y'all tell me what you think about it. But we need to get to that point where they understand that they're going to have to listen to us the same way that the Jewish community lets their entertainers and comedians or what have you know. They're like, hey, listen, if you still want this support from the community now, you're going to have to do for the community and you're going to have to adhere to what we say if we think you're doing something that misrepresents Jewish people. Okay, so that's just some thoughts to put out there. Let's let it continue.
You believe it's a situation that Oprah might have faced something similar that maybe wasn't as public as you, and she's looking at it. Well, if I faced that, went through it, and came out on the other side and look at me, it should be okay. Because sometimes we get that with parents. You know, I struggle. You say my kids should have to struggle sometimes also. Do you think that might be something going on with her, or you just like there's a disconnect?
There's a disconnect.
Okay.
There's a disconnect, and there's been a disconnect for years. There's a disconnect. And I think what happens is we place people on these pedestals and we say, oh, no, you can't do no wrong. We don't even want to hear it.
Right.
And when you hear cats say, you know what they do? They don't say anything and they act like it didn't happen. I'm going to keep talking until you take accountability.
Right.
Until you say, Uncle, I've done this. That's why it was so important. From Oprah Winfrey to Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels. Now, Lee Daniels was the only one I had to deal with. Did you see Lee Daniels apologize? He walked out on that stage. Not only did he apologize on stage, that man apologized to our children. That man apologized to our children and said, I need to apologize for what I put y'all through. He's the only one I had to deal with. However, it became a problem with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry that I wouldn't do something and work for free. Now, when you say, well, maybe Oprah feels like she came through it, why can't you?
Right.
Well, there's a story with Oprah Winfrey when she was on the show, People Are Talking. Richard Sher was making $55,000. She was making $22,000. These are her words. It was her co-host. She said, I had to leave because they wasn't paying me fairly. Now you say a black woman who did nothing wrong, and you're in the midst of this situation because she called me, Tyler Perry called me, Lionsgate called. When you were on the phone with my husband, you said, I agree with Monique. I agree with the position she's taking.
But
when it came time to say it out loud, Oprah Winfrey went totally silent. Now, to Tyler Perry's credit, Tyler Perry called us up, right? And he said, I can see the pain in you and I can hear it. And I want to let you know that I would never do nothing to hurt you. But the conversation kept going on. Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied. Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong. And when my movie Boo come out, I'm going to say that, right? Now, here's where, when you did that interview with Kat, I could respect how you do it. Because Kat said, you let them people lie in your face. And your response was, Kat, I don't know if they're lying or not.
Right.
Because I can only take them at their word.
At their word.
Right?
Yes.
Well, we sent you the audio of Tyler Perry. I don't want you to take me at my word. I want you to hear his words. And what did you hear that man saying? What did you hear that man saying?
He said it.
What did he say?
Monique, you know you're not supposed to be recording people.
No. Let me back up.
Okay.
Everything we did was legal. And here's where a black woman really gets the kick in the ass. Had I not recorded Tyler Perry, then it would have been my word against his. And then on top of that, it would have been, he's so powerful, we can't even pay no attention to that.
Right.
Well, now I have him on audio, which is legal to do where we live.
Right.
Okay. We have.
He's absolutely right about that. It is legal to do that here in the state of Georgia.
On audio. And do you know what some people then said? Why would you record him? Just like you sat there and said, you know it's illegal to, but did you hear what the man said? I violated you.
Yeah.
I mistreated you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Over a lie and a rumor?
Is he gonna compensate you for that?
I want you to look in your camera.
Yes.
And I want you to talk to Tyler Perry because you heard what that man said. So ask him, will he compensate my family for that?
Tyler, will you come on Club Shay Shay and let's have a conversation about the fair compensation for what transpired between you and Monique You can sit right here and she's sitting right here and you and I can have a conversation.
And we'll do you one better. And give me 5 on that, baby. We'll do you one better, Shay. My husband and I'll sit right next to him. See, with this whole situation, and some of the people that Kat talked about, ironically, I have this issues with those same people. There were people that reached out to Tyler Perry on my behalf.
Okay.
And I was grateful for that. Okay. There was Al Sharpton, the Reverend Al Sharpton, civil rights leader.
Yeah.
I sent him that audio. He listened to it. He said, baby, what that man did to you was wrong, and you're like my daughter. And we're going to have to get him to fix that.
Right.
We didn't hear from Al Sharpton for 6 months. The next time we saw Al Sharpton, he was on a podium talking about we don't need to fly commercial because we can fly Tyler Perry's private jet.
That goes to show you that every time we criticize old slick back hair at Sharpton, okay, that shows you, it goes to show you he was every bit the bootlick that we said he was over here in these new black media spaces. But see, family, let me tell you something. Because see, even though I don't have the largest platform, even though we are not up there with these multimillionaires and billionaires, even for those of us that do well for ourselves, we're not up there on that level. Oh, well, let me say that. I don't know who's in my chat room. So I'm assuming that it might be some people in here that are. Do not out yourself if you are in that category. Keep that to yourself. But I'm gonna tell you something. You know how we shut a lot of that down, though, as far as these people like the Tyler Perry's and Oprah's mistreating folks? When word of that gets out, first of all, you have to have somebody bold like a Monique or a Cat Williams to come out and let us know who these people are. And when we find that out, be like, oh, okay, that's what you did, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, or Tyler Perry. You shortchanged that brother or sister when they kept their contractual obligation to you. Fine, no problem. Your name is mud in the community from now on. See, I know that sounds harsh, but we need to get to a point where, like, even if you make it right, okay, bet you should make it right. But now, hey, you lose the favor that you had with the community. If we start taking that stance, and I'm not just talking about somebody making an honest mistake. I want to be clear on what I'm saying. I'm talking about people that deliberately do what Tyler Perry did to Monique. The people that deliberately do what Oprah Winfrey did to this sister here. Okay, and many others. Many others. If we stood together like that and said, you touch one of us, you fight us all everywhere. Touch one of us anywhere, you fight us all everywhere. Okay? In a figurative sense, you're not promoting violence. Okay? But if we did it that way, just think about what a strong message that was sent. Because, see, y'all don't understand, man. We are a powerful and mighty people. We just don't realize that a lot of times. Because, see, you think back to when that accursed Popeye's chicken sandwich came out. I got to go here, but I'm making a point. Go and look up. I'm not going to even say the number. I'm going to give you some homework to do. Yes, I give homework over here. Go look up how much free advertising black folks gave Popeyes with that damn chicken sandwich. Folks out there acting a fool for the damn sandwich, fighting, stabbing each other, taking the sandwich and selling it for $20 a sandwich. I don't know what they put in that. I didn't go get one. I was like, hey, whatever's in that, I don't want to know. Okay? But you just go look up how much free marketing we gave them. Now, I bring this up to let you know that this is right now. Let me simplify it even further. Right now, if a brother or sister came in this chat room and said, hey, I got a new shoe that I just made. You know, this isn't anything that's ever been out there before. This is my own brand. We got everything we need to make that hot. We got everything we need to help them with their marketing and everything. You know what, though? We don't often look at ourselves when we come up with something and say, that black person, that brother or sister, that product that they have, as long as it's quality, it's just as good as these things over here with these name brands that we don't own. The day that we start looking at our own like that and say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that brother or sister stuff, that is good enough for us to replace these things that we don't own with, because that keeps the money in our community. See, everything as far as like revolutionary change, it starts with possessing the right thinking, okay? So I just want to put that on your minds here tonight as we further analyze this. Get back to it.
I said, that's why maybe I'm not hearing back from him. Okay. Then we had our beautiful sister, Stephanie Mills.
Yes.
Okay. Who is She don't play.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. I told her what happened, sent her the audio. Now, I don't know if she listened to that audio or not. But however, she called Tyler Perry. She said, Monique, Tyler Perry does not want to revisit this. Okay, fine.
Right.
While we're on the phone, Tyler Perry calls her back and says, I will meet with Monique, but not with her husband. Now, you ready for this?
Yeah.
And then Monique has to apologize publicly to say Oprah and I had nothing to do with messing up her career.
But that'd be a lie.
Look in the goddamn camera.
I thought that was a stage, the way you...
Look in the camera.
Yes.
Because you heard it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when you hear what this man is saying. So I said, Stephanie, tell Tyler Perry, never will I meet with him without my husband. And I owe no apology, so I'm not going to give one. That goes away. Kevin Hart. Now, you know when Cat Williams said gatekeepers?
Yes.
Kevin Hart, I do his podcast.
Yes.
And I want y'all to re-listen to the podcast so you can hear it for yourself. When he first comes on, he says, you're like my mother, you're like my aunt, you're like my sister. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then we do the podcast. We speak about the Tyler Perry situation. Oprah Winfrey, he said, I don't really know Oprah, but I'm going to reach out to Tyler. I appreciate that. Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry. Kevin Hart called me back about maybe a week or so later. He said, Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he don't want to revisit it. He said, but I tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just move past that and let's just do great things. So whatever
That's what Kevin said.
I want you to hear me, Kevin Hart. Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do. Now, let me say that before we go any further, because I want to make sure I give Kevin Hart his proper credit. When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, here you go. We're forever grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top, because I don't ever want nobody to think me and my husband. So I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out. Then when he came back with, I got you. I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, I'll executive produce. I'll partner with you. I said, good shit, Kevin, because we're in a deal with Endemol. And we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you. Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world,
Correct.
right? And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive produce. They was like, oh, this is incredible, because when you put Kevin Hart's name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky. And Dave Becky said, Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Monique.
So what changed between...
So now let me give you my thoughts on how I would have handled that if Kevin Hart would have, because look, we've all heard people that'll do that, okay? So now she did give him his credit. She said that, he helped their family out monetarily and they paid it back with some interest. Okay, so I appreciate her telling the whole story on that. But what I would have did to call his bluff, I'd be like, oh yeah. So you saying that? I'd be like, hey, let's call him up right now. Huh? You see what I'm saying? See, that's how you do people like that. You be like, okay, cool, bet. I got my own little production company over here, deal with them. So, hey, let's call him up right now, Kevin. See what she should have done. And I know hindsight is 20/20, but her and her husband, because her husband is a manager, for those of you that don't know that, they should have said, okay, cool. He said that, but we need to all be on the phone together talking to her production company that she got to deal with there and say, okay, let him say it. We need to hear him saying that everybody on the same page. See, that's how you do business. But this tells you something else about the sister Monique. She is one of the people that, because really, to be honest with you, we should be able to take each other at our word. So she was probably one of the sisters that, back then, I'm pretty sure she's not that way now. She probably like, okay, my brother told me this. He just gave me this here to help me out. Woo, we paid him back. So I know if he telling me this, his word is good money. No, business is business. And I would have said, no, let's talk to him together. So that way, if you're going to back out, you're going to have to do it right now in my face. And then I'll be like, well, man, why would you say that if you're not going to do it? But again, hindsight is 20/20. I'm just putting that out there to let those of you know that that's how you do business. Somebody telling you, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Okay, yeah. I'm going to give you a phrase here. And some of y'all might have heard this in your family, but my father has a phrase about people that are like that. He said, son, when people start talking like that, he said, here's what I tell them. I'll look for you when I see you coming. I'm going to say it again. I will look for you when I see you coming. Basically meaning, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I'll believe it when I actually see some action going behind what you said. Let's let it continue.
The 2 weeks and plus he gave you a check, you gave the money back, then said he would partner with you, executive produce, whatever you need, Mo, hey, we got you. So what transpired, or what do you think transpired between then, that 2 week period?
Well, soon as we got off the phone and they told us what Kevin's manager, David Becky, said, I called Kevin Hart immediately. I said, hey, baby, we just got off the phone with Endemol, and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, you don't want anything to do with me. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication. I can tell you right now. I said, wait a minute. Are you okay, though, with this white man calling them up? Getting in between our relationship after something you said. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication, and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again. So that's what we're faced with. When you allow somebody to come in between a relationship with a woman that you said, I'm like your mother. You said I'm like these things. I didn't ask you for that. So everything that baby was saying sitting here, everything he was saying was on the up and up, because when you hear people say, get the anger out your heart. Oh, man, no one's saying he's lying. No one ever said I was lying. It's so easy to discount and devalue because of what we look like.
Right.
However, when it comes to Tyler Perry, I will not allow you to discount or devalue, because that is your voice on that audio. Mm-hmm. Remember on Good Times when Penny's mother was whooping up on her and she had recorded it? Mm-hmm. That's you on tape. So how does it go from you saying you're going to give me an apology to now I owe you an apology?
But what do you want an apology for?
Now, let me further add this onto what the sister is saying here. And I need to expound on this as far as like being a person of your word. Okay. The way I was taught, my father taught me that when it comes to dealing with a person or, you know, making a business arrangement or anything that you're saying that you're going to do, or a person asks you to do, rather, what you tell them is, especially if you know you're busy or you can't immediately see how you'll be available to do that, you be like, okay, I can do it, but before I make any promises, let me make sure that on the date or time that I tell you I can do this, let me make sure that I don't tell you, yes, I can do it, and then I have to turn around and say, hey, man, something came up. Ooh, I can't do it. No, you need, if anybody has a problem with that, that's not an issue with you. That's an issue with them accepting you being honest, saying, hey, brother or sister, before I commit to that, I need to make sure that, you know, my schedule is going to accommodate me being able to keep my word. Because that's something that, you know, I've had people get angry with me about certain things, but I try not to tell people something if I know I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay. Now, of course, exceptions to the rule. Something comes up and it's an emergency. In that situation, I'm saying this primarily for my younger listeners. In that situation, in order to keep a good relationship with people in good faith and not burn any bridges, pick up the phone, give the person a call. I say call, not text, and let them know what happened. Don't duck and dive. Don't be like, well, they'll find out when I ain't sure. That's not how you do business, okay? See, when you have a good reputation with people and they know, okay, hey, listen, that brother or sister not going to tell you something they can or can't do unless they mean to keep their word on that, okay? And if something comes up, just be upfront about it. Give that person a call if you got the number and let them know, okay? As far as it depends upon you, if things change when you give somebody your word, do the best that you can to follow up on it early, especially if it's business, because that might be holding that person up from doing something else if they're waiting on you. Just give that person a courtesy call and say, hey, you know, hey, little brother, sister, something came up with my family, my kid, wife, husband, whatever. Just let people know. Just give people that courtesy. We need to look at each other and just start treating each other better. Let's get back to it.
What could I possibly owe you an apology for when you've admitted? See, when Lee Daniels says to me, because Cookie from the show Empire, I was offered that role. Now Taraji tore it up, baby. Listen here. However, I was offered that. Then Felita called me back and say, baby girl, they said you're too difficult to work with. But you hear on the audio that a man told David Talbert I was difficult to work with. Do you see how that cost my family?
Yes.
And with no accountability because, oh, it's the great Tyler Perry. No, you've got to be accountable for that. Oprah Winfrey, you've got to be accountable for the things you've done with my family. You've got to be accountable for that.
Is there any relationship between you and Tyler and you and Oprah currently?
No. No.
But I thought there was an apology. I read that I read somewhere that Oprah had issued you an apology and Tyler had issued an apology. That's not correct.
No. No.
The only person that's given you an apology.
You saw it. It's Lee Daniels. That's the only person. So we are in a place where we're too afraid to call them for what it is. We're too afraid to say, if it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, what is it, Shannon? It's a duck.
Right.
So again, you see the struggle of the black woman as I'm sitting here talking to you and you say, Mo, but why would you record him? But you heard the man violate me. The first thing wasn't, I can't believe that cat did that to you. It's, why would you do it? And we understand it.
Right.
Because we've been conditioned that way.
Because when you had to get somehow, because when you're telling people these are lies, nobody is believing Monique. So now, even though you have him record his voice and that's him, and he's saying he made it up, now it's no longer, oh man, I can't believe he lied on Mo. Mo, why'd you record it? So now they put the onus back on you.
Where's the win? How do we win? How does a black woman win when you say, here he is right here? And I look to the community and say, how long do we allow us to keep being exploited, used up, taken advantage of? And because we think somebody can give us an opportunity, we just say, shh, I'm not going to say nothing. If we keep operating like that, Shannon, you're going to have a whole lot of us sitting right here in this same seat, almost telling the same story.
Why do you think Tyler is afraid to meet with you and your husband? Why does it need to be you one-on-one when he meet with other representatives and their client? What is it about you that he feels it needs to be just you and he? Does he think your husband is some kind of negative influence on you? He thinks the husband is saying things that Monique probably wouldn't say if I just had an opportunity to talk to her one-on-one. What do you think that is?
Let me say this.
Excuse me.
People better be glad my husband is by my side, because there are people in Hollywood that know wherever you act up is where I show up. People know in Hollywood, baby, Shannon, and I don't say it with a badge of honor. It's just what it is. Well, I've had to say, who you think you talking to? And we sitting there with the president of the studio or my patience level is not going to allow. I've been molested. I've been violated. So the moment I see you trying to do it, we're going to have to address it. My husband is nothing but a gentleman. And you know why people have a problem with my husband? Because he's right to it. There's no, we're going to dance around the bush. He's right to it.
Right.
And people like Tyler Perry, people like Oprah Winfrey, they look at my husband and say, how dare you be so direct?
Right.
How dare you not put your eyes.
The other reason why Tyler Perry doesn't want her husband present when they talking face to face is, as men, we know when other men are bullshitting, just like women know when other women are bullshitting. That's the other reason why that she left out there, but let's let it continue.
Down when you're talking to me. How dare you do that? My husband is also my manager. Why would he want to exclude my management? It's like, Tyler, you should want my husband to be there. You may want him to be sitting right there so that way we can have a conversation that everyone can be heard. Mm-hmm. But I appreciate you, Shannon, because most people are too afraid that's heard the tape. They're too afraid to say, no, I heard it, and this is what he said. Mm-hmm. I appreciate T.S. Madison because T.S. Madison was the first one to say, no, I heard what he said. So when folks were trying to jump on her, she not down for the black woman. Listen, baby, y'all don't even understand the fights that sister be having when ain't nobody watching for the black woman.
Right.
So I appreciate you looking in that camera.
Right. Well, I mean, look, sometimes there are some black people, some, not all, some, that my grandfather used to say, Mo, is that if you're not careful, you'll become the very thing you despise the most in a person. Now, what do we despise most about Trump supporters, ex-President Trump, is that no matter what he says, no matter what he does, they give him an out. There's some people in our community, no matter what powerful black people say or do in our community, we'll give them an out.
And we can't.
And we become the very thing we despise the most. What we despise most about ex-President Trump supporters is that no matter what he does or says, it's okay.
Yes.
We can't do that. We can't. If somebody's wrong, like you said, Mo, if somebody's wrong, we have to be man or woman enough to say they're wrong, regardless of what comes along with that.
They don't know. They don't understand what them saying, I'm sorry, will mean for them. See, when I read
because that's not for you. And I'm sorry, it's not for the person that you offended. It's for you. Because currently you're in hostage, your feelings, because you have to live with that.
You've got to live with that.
What you've done.
So when you see a woman say, me turning 70, I'm so happy because I've never hurt anyone. Stop it. Stop it. Because there's a black woman that has been calling your name for over a decade that you seem to want to make go away. And I know I'm not the only one.
Would you sit, if Oprah called Mo today, would you sit down and have a conversation with her?
Let me tell you what I'll do if Oprah called me today, Shannon Sharp. We will sit down and have a conversation with Oprah Winfrey. We will sit down and have a conversation with Tyler Perry. We will sit down and have a conversation with the presidents of Lionsgate. We will sit down and have a conversation with anyone that is, I'm going to say brave enough to sit down and have a conversation. But what happens is within seconds, if Tyler Perry was to sit right here, you would say, man, I heard you. What you trying to tell me about this sister? Within seconds, Oprah Winfrey would know that people would say, hold up. See, when I speak about Oprah Winfrey, and let me be clear, I love that sister because she's our sister. Mm-hmm. She just got to come back across the street. We got the light on. When I speak.
Now, this is where I must interject because I said this early in the broadcast. And I have to remind you of the words of the late great ancestor and Grandmaster teacher, Dr. John Henry Clark. And y'all know where I'm going. He has said that one of our greatest strengths and weaknesses is our beautiful humanity. No, we have to stop calling people that harm us brothers and sisters in the community. No, you're not. You're not my brother. You're not my sister. And when you harm us, you damn sure don't need to be a part of the community. See, that's not anything bad, okay? When we're talking about for egregious offenses, okay? Where people deliberately do bad things or things to harm the community and individuals in it, okay? There's nothing wrong with you saying, hey, no, I don't have to be accommodating or amiable towards people that do me harm. If you love yourself, you don't let nobody physically harm you, and you don't let nobody mentally or spiritually harm you either. You don't have an obligation to let people do any of those three things if you love yourself and you love the other members of your family and your community. No, you don't get the... See, look, let me go here with it. Y'all know for years I have said that the titles, man and woman, are earned honorable titles. Black man, black woman, earned honorable titles. Brother and sister are the same thing in my viewpoint. Those are earned honorable titles. If I call you my brother, I've seen you exhibit brotherly behavior, not just towards me, but towards the community at large. If I call you my sister, that means I've seen you exhibit sisterly behavior towards not just me, but the community at large, okay? That's how I see those terms. Those are privileges for you to be referred to as brother or sister, okay? As far as foundational Black American freedmen lineage is concerned, okay? And see, we got to get past that thinking that we supposed to give that courtesy to people that have acted malevolently towards us. No. That has cost our people far too much trying to hold on to things. See, look, let me tell you something. Some people may find this harsh, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you are done with something, let's say you got a candy bar or you eating a bag of chips or whatever, when you're done with that, do you save the bag? No, it's trash at that point. You no longer have a use for that. Where do you put trash? In the garbage. Some of our people are garbage, and we just gonna have to accept that fact. We must remove that title, that earned honorable title of brother and sister from people that deliberately harm the community.
About Oprah Winfrey, I speak about that woman because she's spoken about me. And when you begin to speak about me privately, I'm going to speak about you publicly. You've been unfair. You've been unjust. And you watched a black woman be thrown under the bus, and you said nothing. And here's what's interesting as well. My husband was saying to me, after I won the Oscar award, right? Mm-hmm. And she had the people come, to talk to the Oscar winners. And I go on the stage and I talk to the Oscar winners. Well, when we go to a commercial, the people in the audience, and I say this humbly, as my husband was telling me, he said, Mama, they wasn't screaming Oprah. They were screaming Monique. Mm-hmm. Right? So much so, I had to say, y'all gonna shut that shit up now. We get ready to go back on the air. We having fun, right? He said, but I watched Oprah. He said, and I watched her almost turn in her seat like they screaming her name. Now, some people will say, oh, Monique, you're reaching. Well, let me tell you what then happens. The movie The Butler, that movie was offered to me. Lee Daniels came out and said, I did offer Monique the Butler. But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So when Oprah said she wanted it, so who played the lead role in The Butler? Oprah Winfrey. Lee Daniels was getting ready to do a biopic on Richard Pryor, and he offered me the grandmother. Who then calls Lee Daniels and says, I want to be the grandmother. So as you're looking at me, it's the same way I'm looking at that sister. And I'm saying, why don't we sit down and have a conversation? Because the way things could look, it may not be that way, but just the way things look, Oprah. Just the way you would have my family on your show, Oprah.
One might say, Mo, well, I mean, if they're looking for a black...
Big, go ahead and say it. Shannon so careful with his words. He want to say fat black woman. If the role looking for a fat black woman, Mo, but he was like,
but I want to keep my podcast, Mo. Y'all ain't finna cancel me.
This why we love you, Uncle Shay Shay, because we want you to say it, a fat black woman. Now, me and Oprah fit the damn description, Shay. Fat black. Don't we fit it?
You do. But I'll be right back in I'll be your neighbor up there where you live at.
Listen here. So, are you lying?
No.
Now, I'm not going to have your big ass sitting here in the Hall of Fame and you scared to say shit.
Okay.
And I want to excuse myself for any of the babies that might be watching this, because I wasn't going to say no spicy things. But Shay Shay get me wrong now. Come on, Shay.
One might say, or people might say, well, Mo, I mean, the role calls for a heavyset black woman. You, Oprah, y'all fit the roles.
Yes.
How do we know that she wasn't offered the role at long and people think that she's better, more qualified than you?
It don't work like that, Shannon. You can't offer me. Once you say, I want you.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't have the money to fund a production.
Right.
I don't have the connections to go to the studio and say, listen, I want to do this movie. She does. Right. So when Lee says, hey, baby, she got the money, go get it. But someone would just say, how is that working out like that? How is that happening like that? How is it that things that was offered to Monique, you seem to be playing? Now, I told Oprah about that. See, everything we're saying to you right now.
You was having a conversation with her.
Listen here. I don't play the behind the back. I don't play the I'ma share it with Shannon. There's one thing I will share with you that I've not shared with anybody.
Okay.
But I don't play the behind the back and all of that. I say, listen, let me try to get to you first. Now, if you avoid me, okay. but I tried to be respectful. I tried to call you first. When she had my family on her show, I tried to call you first. I tried to talk to you privately, but then you became the great mighty Oprah Winfrey, and you were too busy to talk. Well, now I'm going to talk about it. This woman has overstepped with me in so many ways that somebody would say, if we wasn't Monique and Oprah Winfrey in the entertainment business, and we was Monique and Oprah Winfrey that worked at Costco, I see you in the break room. I see you at your cash register. Because she's overstepped.
Now, I agree with her 100% on that. Because, see, look, if you're dealing with somebody and there's an issue that come up between you, grown folks now, we talking about adults, and both of you have a way to communicate with each other, and one party says, hey, brother or sister, I need to talk to you. I want to make sure that you hear me and I can hear you, or better yet, you can see me and I can see you, and we can clear this up face to face, get things straightened out. Now, if you're the type of individual where you decline to take them up on that, and that's your right to do it, but then you turn around, now you talking about that particular person instead of to them, and you talking about them to other people, let me tell you something. That's the quickest way for me to lose respect for a person. I don't care who you are, man or woman. If you got, because see, I'm saying that because the way I was raised, let me tell you about me. If I got a problem with you and I got a way to reach you, I'm going to contact you directly. Now, it's up to you whether you accept and take me up on that offer to speak with me or not, but I will make the effort to reach out to you directly. If I can't get in contact with you and I start hearing you slander my name or tell lies, and like I said, you better be careful which ones you tell on me, because I'm not going to threaten you or nothing. You're going to hear from my legal team. That's what's going to happen if you get the line on me. I got the paper to spin. I play with me and I'll show you better than I can tell you. Okay? Don't want to do it, but I will. Now, if you running around talking to everybody except for the person that you got an issue with, then, you know, look, like I said, I don't have no more respect for you after that. And see, I've had to tell people this. If you got an issue with a particular person that you feel has done you some wrong, don't sit around in a group with other people talking about that person. Take your grievance directly to that person and get the issue worked out in whatever way you need to do it. That's what I'm going to tell you, okay? But you know, you got a lot of people in our community, what I just said, they think there's something wrong with that. I don't know how they were raised, but for me, I don't like to beat around the bush when there's an issue or a problem. I like to go straight to the source of the problem and see what I can do to resolve the issue and get it worked out. Because whatever I always told y'all about time over here on this channel, time is the most precious, non-renewable resource that any of us have. Once your time is wasted, you don't get that back. I don't know about everybody else, but my time is valuable. I have things to do with my time, and I'm not going to allow it to be wasted as far as it depends upon me. So I agree with the sister dealer. Let's let it continue.
Wow. So I don't know, Monique. This might be the term crossing of the Rubicon. We might be going too far. If you feel that way, because clearly if you feel this way, now yes. I get why you feel this way. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know this. I'm taking you at your word. Now, not the Tyler, because yes. I've listened to the audio.
Yes.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about Oprah.
Yes.
I'm just taking you at your word.
Yes.
If you feel this way, is it possible she feels the exact same way about you?
How could she? How could she? What have I taken from Oprah? When did I have Oprah's mother and father on my show? Mm-hmm. When did I have anybody come and speak about Oprah Winfrey on the Monique show? That's never happened. So how could she feel that way?
Would you have done that?
Had her family on?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how we operate. When we had the Monique show, there was a comedian on there. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to joke T.I.'s wife, Tiny. Mm-hmm. My husband walked out in the middle of his set. He said, cut. He said, brother, we don't do that here. We uplift our folks. Mm-hmm. We don't play that. So no, I would not have done that. When Oprah Winfrey had my family, And I'll tell y'all, and I'm looking around, baby, because there are people here.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't want to be rude to the people at Shay Shay's club. You got other people in the club, right? When Oprah Winfrey called me up, and she said, I got a call from your brother. And this is after I won the Oscar award, right? And your brother wants to come on the show, and he wants to apologize to you for molesting you. And he wants to tell other people how to look out for a predator.
Right.
I said, Oprah, I said, I don't want anything to do with that cat. I said, and then she said, well, if you want me to scratch the show, I will scratch it. I said, sis, don't scratch it because he could be a different person. And I don't want to get in the way if that cat is a different person. I just don't want no parts of it.
Right.
Okay? When I hung up that phone, Shannon, I was like, I appreciate that sister. Like, she didn't have to call me.
She didn't.
She didn't have to call me and say, I'm going to have your brother.
Right.
I start seeing commercials with my mother and my father and my other brother who used to be my manager, who knew the fear that I had with the brother that was up on stage, right? We never talked about my mother being there.
She never told you that.
You know how you feel about your grandparents?
Yes, absolutely.
You know the honor and how you speak about them? Imagine you then seeing your granddaddy and your grandmama on a show, and they're talking about somebody that violated you, and that woman didn't tell you that they were going to be there. How would you feel?
I would feel like you felt betrayed.
That is exactly how I felt and how I feel. And it's not, no, I understand it. But you betrayed me, sister. And I'm not the only one.
Because at the time when she called you, she said it was just your brother.
Just my brother. And when my mother was on that show, do you know what I had to deal with, Shannon?
What's that?
I would be in the store, and I would have elderly women coming up to me, and they would say, your mama ain't shit.
Wow.
Now, they wasn't lying, Shannon, okay? They wasn't lying, baby. Sometimes you gotta let the truth be the goddamn truth. Sometimes you got to just go with it, but still, it's my mother.
It's your mom.
And I'm in here, and because when she I'm having to defend something, and I got that often with them telling me what my mother wasn't, because you did not tell me. Had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm going to have your mama, I'd have said, shut that shit down. I don't need nobody seeing my mama be greedy. I don't need the world seeing. Shut it down.
Now, let me add this to what the sister is saying. If Oprah was any type of a friend to Monique and she cared about her as a person, I'm talking about outside of the business of Hollywood, instead of being an opportunist, if that was really her sister, she would have said, okay, I know this happened to you. I know that's a traumatic experience. That's something I wouldn't even, if that was my homeboy or my homegirl, okay? And I was in Oprah's position, I wouldn't even think about doing that. I'll be like, no. I'll be like, there's no way that I'm going to even think about exploiting somebody's pain like that. Because let's ask this question. What was you going to get out of that other than ratings and views for your show, Oprah? That wasn't going to fix what happened to Monique. The low down, dirty son of a bitch that abused her, which was her so-called brother. I'm going to tell you right now, if you know my stance on this, family. It's certain crimes that you can't rehabilitate. I'm going to leave it there because that infuriates me when I hear about, your sister, dog. Your sister, man. If anything, you supposed to protect her. How you... See, I didn't come from that kind of family. But, unfortunately, a lot of that goes on up in that Baltimore area. I mean, look, man, the truth is the truth. I don't wish that on nobody. But for Oprah to exploit that like that go to show you what type of rotten, vile, slimy filth that she is for doing that. Because it wasn't going to do anything. It wasn't going to be anything constructive to come out of that other than, like Monique said, they trying to see if they can get their 15 minutes of fame off of exploiting her pain or whatever. Because she's already expressed that, hey, these people don't really fool with her like that unless they're trying to get something from her. So I completely understand why Monique has distanced herself from those particular individuals in her family. As I understand, her mother has transitioned on. Okay. But I get it. See, you got a lot of people in this world, they think that after they harm somebody, they get to tell that person how to respond. You don't. You walk up and punch somebody in the face, you can't tell them how to respond to that. You gonna get what you get. Now, they may walk away or turn the other cheek, or they may commence to stomp your ass into the pavement. Once you throw that first blow and make contact, you get what you get after that. But see, we're in a world today where a lot of people think they're supposed to do things. There's never supposed to be a consequence. That's not reality. Let's let it continue.
A white woman named Barbara Walters, they called her first. And she said, Monique, I told your family, I can't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. You just won that award. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah, you're here. Why would I bring something that I know that you don't want to talk about? You lived it. Why do I need to replay it again?
Ask her. Your camera right there.
I was trying to.
I know, baby, but ask her. See, this is where it get juicy, right?
Yeah.
Because you're saying the right things, but you're asking me questions that I can't answer.
Right.
I can't answer why Oprah Winfrey did what Oprah Winfrey did.
Yeah.
Only Oprah Winfrey can answer for her actions.
Yes.
So again, stop being scared.
No,
I knew that would get him, Aunt Mary. I knew that would pop him back in, baby. I knew that would get Uncle Shay Shay.
But even this show, I have a producer and I give him a lot of leeway. But I've had people reach out and say, well, a family member said something and I want to come on your show and refute it. That ain't what we do here.
Right. It's like,
it ain't gonna happen.
It's almost, you don't cross that barrier.
We don't do the family thing.
You don't do the family thing. And I'm going to bring this up. I wasn't going to do it. But damn it, this seat.
You might want to have another
Look, this seat make you go, truth, tell it. No, tell the damn truth. God damn it, tell the truth. Because family is sacred.
It's supposed to be.
And we don't cross the line with family. And people begin to get comfortable to jump on the Monique bandwagon of Monique doing things wrong and she doing this and she doing that. And there's a brother named D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
And until he take accountability, I won't let it go.
What?
Because, what was you getting ready to say?
I was going to say, what did D.L. do?
Let me tell you. Baby, that voice went up, didn't it? D.L. is friend. He like, that's my friend.
No, I've met D.L. on several occasions. I don't know DL like that. Okay. Do I know DL say like I know an earthquake? No. Do I know, since I've interviewed Kat, had several conversations with him, do I know DL on that level? No.
Right. See, when we say family is sacred,
right?
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family.
Correct.
Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
DL Hughley is not there. His team is there. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forward, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather.
Oh.
Okay? Now.
Monique, you should have said, I'm too old for this game.
Wait a minute. We're having fun, baby. Right? We're having a good time, Shannon. Okay. It's the sister there and there's two other guys. We're having a great time. It's a beautiful Black unity cookout. Okay. We're having a good time.
Okay.
Would you say your wife was your family? Is that considered family?
Yeah.
So your husband is considered family,
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. So here we go. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right
now, did you hear that account that Monique is giving? And I don't have any reason to think that sister lied. Let me tell y'all something, man. I want my young Black people to pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. People hide disrespect behind so-called jokes, okay? Because, we're going to get into that Friday. Oh, yes, we are. But people will hide disrespect behind jokes. People will hold contempt for you and try to play it off like it's a joke in front of your face to see if you're going to sit there and let that slide or not catch it or continue to deal with them. There's certain types of disrespect that you check immediately, okay? I'll be like, listen, first of all, this whole, would you rather, and you going to ask me that disrespectful ass question, I'll be like, okay, you got one or two ways you can handle that. You can get up and walk out, never do any type of business with them again, or you can get down in the mud with them and like, okay, well, that depends on, okay, which one of you would rather, have Lee Daniels Johnson in your mouth, okay, and have him, you know what I'm saying, pleasure himself in your mouth and you swallow it, or would you rather go and lick the back of a baboon's ass? I mean, look, we two can play that game. You want to be disrespectful, let's go there. Because see, when I go, hey, listen, I'll tell you right now, you start going there with me, should I choose to entertain you, just know that where you going, you think that's a low blow. You don't want me to show you how low I'm capable of going because I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to go to a place where you're going to be like, damn, why would you say that? Yeah, hey, listen, man, you started it. You don't get to tell me how to respond if you get disrespectful. You understand? See, that's me. That's how I'm built. That's why I go out my way not to have no problems with nobody. Like, man, you got it. I don't want no problems. Go ahead. But now, if you go past a certain line, especially if you call yourself trying to publicly embarrass me or disrespect me, okay, I'm going to deal with you publicly. Let it continue.
I haven't heard this story. Y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that because I don't know what you're insinuating. Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother. DL. I'm going to call my brother. I call DL Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah.
Did he know it was you?
Yes, because they called him to let him know Monique's going to be calling.
Right.
Like this, it was getting crazy.
Right.
I'm like, just let me get on the phone with my brother. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, DL. Yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like stupid. Like asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens. And his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, truth tellers talk, we have receipts to everything we're saying. That's how that whole thing got started. Okay? It's family. My husband is my family.
Yeah.
Now, you babies that are really good with this internet, through the years, I've watched DL speak ill of me. Through the years. I never knew DL Hughley had a problem with me. But when Cass said they all a group, he forgot to put DL Hughley in the group. Mm-hmm. Through the years, I was bitter. I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality. My husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, I'ma see you. I'ma see you. I didn't go on nobody's show. I didn't say nothing to nobody, but I knew the time would come that I would see him. We were scheduled to do a show in Los Angeles. I was the headliner of that show. His name was on it, then his name came off. I didn't question it, but I knew I'ma see him, right?
Eventually.
Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. DL Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
I signed a contract.
You see how you say that? Like anybody that knows good business, you sign. The memo is saying this is what I would like,
right?
But the contract is saying this is what it is. Okay.
Yes.
He put out a memo to our community, and that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get. Mm-hmm. Okay. I was contractually signed to go as the headliner.
Right. I mean, you go last.
D.L. Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I have to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting.
Right.
That is disrespectful to the audience.
Correct.
When I went out on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me. Because now you're here and I'm going to say it to you. Mm-hmm. And I said some things on that stage that I said he was cowardly. And some folks said, how could you say that? How could you do that? And then I posted some things to say, this is what I meant. See, you came after my husband. And when you had a chance to fix it, when you had a chance to say, Mo, my bad, you know, we don't even get down like that.
Right.
You told me it is what it is. And until he's brave enough and courageous enough to say, this is what really happened, y'all. Y'all have never known me to be no shit starter. Folks ain't never known me to go over and kick a sandwich out of somebody's hand that's hungry. But what people do know is, if you kick me, damn if I ain't gonna kick you back.
Right.
And that right there is what a lot of people, unfortunately, in our community don't understand. See, they're dealing in the realm of comedy. And like I said, Friday, we gonna deal with this whole comedy thing because I'm going to say some things that's going to really offend some people that tend to think that a lot of stuff is okay. Oh, just wait till Friday. We're going to definitely deal with that. But as far as this issue right here, see, it's a bit different versus the real world because, see, in the real world, okay, when I say real world, I'm talking about people that are not comedians. Let me tell you about me. I like to have a good time. I like to laugh just like anybody else, okay? But now there's certain boundaries I'm not going to let you cross with me neither, especially if I don't know you like that. And then there's certain things that even if I do know you're not finna play with me like that. I don't really play around with that whole disrespecting thing. Like disrespect is funny. I don't find disrespect funny, especially if I hadn't done nothing to you. Okay? So now, in regards to Monique's situation, her and DL are comedians. The minute that he came out his mouth, oh, that's just how we get down. What I would have done if I was Monique, I said, okay, cool. You said that's how you get down. I'm going to take you at your word for it. I had talked with my, if I was her, I would have had talked with my husband. And I would have said, hey, look, we don't deal with them no more because they on a childish level. We grown folks over here. We don't play like that. So in order for us not to have no conflict or no problems, let them do them. We'll do us. Okay? Just keep it just like that. So now, when she started mentioning what she said about DL on that stage, a lot of people didn't get why she was going off like that. Now we do. Oh, it's all done come out now. Now it all makes sense. And I understand why she said what she said. Because, see, like the brother Nightfall drops it in the chat earlier, people know who to try like that. People know who to try. I'm in case y'all didn't see his comment, let me go ahead and go here with it. I'm with him on this. Do you think they would have played with Mike Tyson like that? Michael Jai White? To my people that you know that, okay, even if they don't have a reputation for just whooping ass, which Mike Tyson does, but people that you know, they be like, okay, if I go here, chances are there's going to be some consequences behind that. Now, am I saying that you're supposed to be on edge by every little thing somebody say? No. But I'm saying when you get disrespectful like she described, because, see, that means that that person looks at you like you something to play with. Now, I'm the type of person where it's like, I'll give you one warning. And after that, okay, now I'm going to do my best to take my leave of it. But now if you keep on starting shit, like she said, you kick me, I'm going to break your leg, okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to catch your leg and I'm going to twist it into something that's not recognizable. Whatever I decide to do to you from there, it just might be like a Saw movie. So you might better go the fuck on and stop playing with the wrong people. Everybody ain't playing. Let me tell you something, family. When I was in school, I was known as the guy that, hey, I wouldn't bother nobody at all. Like I said, I like to have good time, crack jokes with everybody. But if you called yourself trying to intimidate me or disrespect me or physically harm me, I hurt you. I had a nickname. Y'all know what the nickname was? Mr. Do You Bad. That's right. Cause boy, let me tell you, boy, I like, you know, look, I'm not bragging on it, but everybody in my family knows that if you start up with that nigga now, you better be prepared because he gonna go somewhere you not expecting him to go. Now, you just might get him. You just might. But that's a long might, okay? That's a long might. You really ain't prepared to go there with somebody like me, okay? You're not. So your best bet would be go the fuck on and find somebody else to play with. But see, in her situation here, some people, and see, I know what it is just by listening to her, and that's why I played that phone call between her and Tyler Perry to show you that she's telling the truth. She handles things outside of her stage persona a different way when she's not on stage. So that's why I played that at the beginning of the broadcast. So I see what it is. A lot of times, and unfortunately, this is a bad problem in our community. People see people that are kind, and they figure that, okay, because this is a kind person, this is somebody that I can take advantage of. Let me tell you something, man. Some of the people that are the kindest in our community will fuck you up the worst. You better stop fucking with people, man, that ain't bothering nobody. Some of these people are like that for a reason. The people that be like, hey, man, you got it, dog. Go ahead, bro. Because, see, when you push them to a certain place, that's going to go somewhere you might not be prepared for it to go. And unfortunately, we got a lot of people in our community. They love to play until shit get real. Let's let it continue.
Because that's fair play.
Right.
So there was one left out the pack. And when you have people that continually don't take accountability, that's why you see us in the state of affairs we're in.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer, Mo, that everybody don't play the same. And someone once told me, what is joke to you is death to someone else.
What is joke? That's why we don't play with people's families.
No.
When we had the Monique show, the radio show, listen, you can't come on here and speak ill of no one because we don't play like that, because we know how this business works.
Right.
So when you allow that to happen, what do you think is going to come back your way? What do you think? And D.L. Hughley, please, no, brother, we still love you. Just take accountability for it. And we move forward.
I remember reading something about the situation in Detroit. I didn't know the depth of the magnitude of it. I remember reading something about a memo about, I guess it's an addendum that was added on, but the contract is the contract.
The contract is the contract. And what happens is because of the messenger, it was easy to pile on. Mm-hmm. It was easy to pile on. And then when you have some of our black folk that go sit in front of a white man and speak ill of their people, I'm like, y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we coming to that we're going to sit in front of this white man? I can't even say his name. I refuse. Everybody know who he is. We sit in front of him and we just let this man say any and everything about us. And then we go right in with him. That to me is dangerous. Mm-hmm. And y'all babies that's good with this little computer, don't take my word. You can just go through the years of this cat just running his mouth. Mm-hmm. And it's like, stop doing that, because what are we saying to the babies coming behind us?
We're going to continue this, but I want to get into where you're from, the DMV.
Yeah.
Do you realize, like Chappelle, Martin, Tommy Davidson, Earthquake, yourself, what's in the soil in the DMV that got you guys? I mean, you've done television, stand up. All these guys have done television and stand up and are great at it. When you look at like Chappelle walked away from it and said, nah, I want to do my own thing because I'm not going to let you guys hold me hostage.
Yes.
But Martin still does television. Tommy Davidson doesn't do as much television. Quake is not in television. But he has all his gigs going on. When you look at the success that a Chappelle, Martin, Earthquake is having, and you say, well, hold on, ain't none of them guys win no Oscar. Ain't none of them guys did what I did in on the movie set. And they're having the commercial sense that they're having. That should be more.
If I was a white woman, do you know what my name would be?
Wealthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, my goodness.
If I was a white woman, my name would be Melissa McCarthy. Same track record. 5-year sitcom and syndication. Same track record. The opportunities are not the same. So when you have, and as you read all of those things off, and you say, wait a minute, Mo, none of them have this, none of them have that. We get judged by a different stick. We get judged by a different stick. And then when I had people judging me, I'm like, you judging me by your yardstick. You've not done what I've done. And I say that humbly. You've not had the accomplishments that I had.
Right.
When I heard Brother D.L. Hughley say, with that Netflix special, I just accepted anything, whatever they gave me. These are not my words, they're his.
Right.
Well, that's how you do business. I'm not mad at you accepting anything.
Right.
Why are you mad at me saying I won't accept anything?
Right.
That's the difference.
And that right there is something that I absolutely respect, because see, some people don't understand that everybody ain't come from that cloth where, yes, a boss, I was happy to be here. You was actually gonna pay me? I was gonna do it for free, but you was gonna pay me. Well, hopping Bob, is that no? It sure is. I'll just be happy to sell some pets on the head. This here, you was too good to me, man. Everybody ain't like that. Some of us will be like, hey. Oh, what's this? Oh, well, we're gonna hand you this. No, bro. Listen, man, that right there, that's my play money, bro. Don't hand me that. I tell you what you do. You take this back, and when you want to do business, then you can offer me something that can get my attention. Until that time, have a nice day. Don't call me at all until you act like you got some sense. That's how you got to carry yourself when you know you're a talented individual, no matter what you do. Because see, if you get started letting people play with you like that and lowball you, hey, the word is, look, let's go here with it. Let's be for real. These white people that she talking about that's handing out them checks, if she was willing to just accept any and everything, like, yes, a boss, old DL, the word would have got around, oh, you can pay that hell for anything. Look how hard we're going to work you into the ground. They joke about that. They ain't going to do it to their face. But you just imagine the conversation that they have about I'll just take whatever they give me, Negroes. See, this is why I despise them. Because, see, when white folks get around one Sambo or Sambet, they tend to think that all of us are like that. We're like, hey, whoa, I'm not one of them. That little giblet over there, that's your pet. I'm not one of them. You better find somebody else to play with. Now, if we're going to do business, you're going to have to cut the check up the code. Or, hey, you can go hand out the giblet. Don't even insult me like that. Because, see, I'm going to go somewhere else. You ever ask yourself, family, why was that little white dude so comfortable running up to Terry Crews, grabbing him on his Johnson in front of his wife? You ever ask yourself that question? Now, I can't confirm it, but I can only speculate. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Can't confirm it. Not saying it's a statement of fact, but I can only speculate that Terry, perhaps you, even if you didn't engage in any type of, bussy-matic activity, you probably let the white boys pat you on your ass or something, or they did something to you in order to put you in a bitch type role. Because, see, most of them would know not to walk up to no black man that size and grab your package in front of your wife. What made him so comfortable doing that? Look here, man. I don't know about you brothers in the chat, but I ain't never had nobody try me like that. Boy, look here. Look. Some things you just have to go ahead and post bail money for. I'm just going to leave it at that. Nah, ain't no way, bro. In front of my wife, man, no time. But in front of my wife, man, boy, shit, yeah, they would have had to put his ass back together when I was finished with him. Let me leave that alone. All I'm saying is just ask yourself that question, family. They try particular people for a particular reason. Let's get back to it.
Friends, it's like people were judging me. I was hearing people, Shannon, okay, I didn't know we had so many tender people in our group.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had so many tender love. I I didn't know we had so many tender people, and I wouldn't want to be on the front line with these tender people where it's like, oh, I can't believe you said that. I can't. But is what I said the truth? Is what I said the truth? No, I didn't put no sugar on it. Right. It was shit.
Right.
And I didn't try to make it taste good. We got to stop running away from what is real, and we run into fantasy. And that's how come we keep staying where we sit.
Mo, before you became Monique that everybody has seen over the last 2-3 decades, what were some of the jobs that you had that you like, man, this ain't for me? I knew this is just a holdover. It's just a bridge.
Every job I had, baby, it was special.
Was it?
Every job I had, baby.
You were the best at it.
Let me tell you something. I worked at the drive-thru in Popeyes. I worked in the drive-thru in Popeyes, and that was my microphone. Every time somebody came to that window, I was on stage. Welcome to Popeyes. My name is Monique. What would you like today? And they would say, hey, Monique, I'm Shannon. Hey, Shannon, how you doing, baby? What's your order? And you give me your order. And then I say, would you like a hot apple pie with that, Shannon? You say, you know what, Monique, I sure would. Come on around here, baby. Let me see you.
You're the oversold.
Listen here. Popeyes, where my damn money? Because I was a seller, baby. If you wanted a 2-piece, I gave you 4.
Let me tell y'all something right now. No matter what your profession is, you better take notes on what she just said, because, see, that's the confidence of a winner. Even if you at a fast food window, you take pride in what you do to the best of your ability, and you execute. That's why Monique is where she is today. Let it continue.
You wasn't going to lose no weight coming through my damn window, Shannon. That's why I ain't lost no damn weight. What I sold, I ate. If you got 2 pieces, I ate 2 of them. Welcome to Popeyes. Hey, baby, come on now.
So that was your microphone. That was the beginning of Monique, because you was owning. Did you know that's what you were doing?
What I knew I was doing was walking in my dream. The microphone said it's possible. When I stood in my bathroom mirror and I wrapped the towel around me, and it didn't go all the way. I wasn't devastated. Okay, I don't know if they just didn't have enough money to buy me a whole damn towel, but I would still stand there, and that was my gown.
Right.
And I would pick up that brush and I would say, I would like to thank. So I've always seen it.
Did you always know that was Oscar always in the back of your mind? Did you always?
Oscar was never in my mind.
You just wanted to be in TV? You wanted to be in show business? What aspect did you want to do?
I wanted to be famous. I loved what it looked like with people being famous. I didn't know to say, I want to be wealthy with the fame. Right. I didn't know to be specific to ask for it, but I wanted to be famous.
Who did you know that looked like Monique that was famous?
Oprah Winfrey. So do you see how far this relationship goes? Mm-hmm. That's who I knew that looked like me. See, when people always ask me about the Oscar, right? But no one ever asked me about the Image Award. No one ever said to me, what did it feel like when they called your name for the NAACP Image Award? And they were people that looked like me, right, because we put so much weight on that award that it's such an honor. And it's an honor for any award.
Right.
Not just that one, but as a little girl, I never watched the Oscars because nobody looked like me winning. So I was like, this is not for me, but when I watched the Image Award, baby, those people look like me.
Right.
The BET Awards, those people look like me. Mm-hmm. So I was honored the first time they called my name for an Image Award. When I tell you, Shannon, that night, baby, when they called this little fat girl name from Baltimore and the award goes to Monique, well, listen here. I got so good with them calling my name, and this is what had to humble me. You will get humbled, baby, when you just think they get ready to call your name. I had won it like 3 years in a row. This the 4th year.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, call my name again, Shay Shay. Let me situate myself in my chair, right?
Do I look good?
So here come the category.
Okay.
Hey, baby, the best actress in a sitcom. They named me, Tisha Campbell, and I cannot remember the other sisters, right? I know they get ready to say, and the award goes to Monique. So I got to, because I'm a big girl, you got to scoot up.
Yeah.
So you can be ready to push up, right? So I scoots up. get my gown together. And the winner is Tisha Campbell. I said, all right, girl, go on and get that. That humbled my ass and sat right back down. But it was never the Oscar for me, baby.
Right.
It was never the Oscar for me.
So how did stand-up happen?
Stand-up happened on a dare. My brother came home one day and said he went down to the comedy club to do open mic night. Mm-hmm. And he did so bad. He said they was booing me, but I was 6 beers in, so I thought the booze was applause. So my boy had to say, man, nah, bro, this is stinking, right? So we cleaning out the pool. And he says, I said, if I was there, I would have said, and that was 30 minutes of what I would have said. Then he said, I dare you to go down next Wednesday and do open mic night. It was a club called Burke's in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. I went down that next Wednesday, Shannon, and I got a standing ovation. And from that moment to this moment.
Were you hooked?
I was. It is nothing like, and I'm sure you can appreciate and understand, when you walk out on that football field, mm-hmm. and you walk and you smell it and you walking into it and you, that little boy in you says, I'm here. Mm-hmm. I'm still there. That little girl in me is still saying, I'm here, but I'm a grown woman.
Right.
And I'm saying, now that I'm here, you got to pay for it fairly. If not, I'm good. I just have to walk away.
How different is that Monique? Not just in age,
yes,
but how different is that Monique to the one that's sitting right here on this couch?
Oh, she grew up.
That one was naive. Were you ever naive?
Yes. 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 When you first come to Hollywood, Shannon, and I got a show called The Parkers. After I was in Hollywood less than 90 days.
Wow.
90 days. And you have agents and you have managers and you have attorneys, right? And they're telling you all the good things. And everybody always said to me, you want to get the syndication.
Yes.
You want to get the syndication. Once you get the syndication, you work because you want to work.
Right.
Right?
So syndication is what, 5 years, 100 episodes?
Syndication is 100 episodes.
Okay.
Right? So that's all I knew. I didn't know to ask to be an executive producer of my own image. Oh, and nobody told me. I didn't know to ask for that. I didn't know to ask for, after the 3rd year of being on a successful sitcom, that you could say, I now need a bonus. I didn't know to even negotiate that, and no one told me to negotiate that.
They're definitely not going to tell you.
All they kept saying.
Now, see, the problem that I have with that is, like I said earlier in the broadcast, if we are in these particular fields and industries and we see our people coming in and we've got seniority there to point that we know to put them up on that kind of game that she said nobody told her, this is where I started to look at the other people that saw her out there in the business and say, hey, sister, how long you say you've been out there? Listen, you need to go ahead. Once you gotten this point, you need to be asked to be executive producer. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you getting all the other things that you should get at that level, especially when they know that. They'll sit there and watch rookies come in, look at them, see, and be laughing about it with the white folks. You see what I'm saying? See, man, I don't have that in me. If I see a young brother or sister that's new to something and I have experience in it, and the only way I'm not going to look out for them if they tell me, hey, brother, I appreciate you, but I got it. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But now if I see you coming in and I know you green to things, hey, man, you one of my people. That's my initial thought process, unless you tell me you got it. You know, but my initial thought process, well, hey, okay, you say you got it. Cool. But if you need to ask me any questions or you know, you need something you don't understand, come seek me out, man, because these people are dirty. You know how they like to do us. We got to stick together. That's how it should work. But as you hear the sister here saying, nobody even tried to put her up on game. So that's where we have to start looking at some of these people. And man, I'm going to tell you, I want to see the person that come on here and especially if it's a young person, a young black person that's in the industry, that's who I want to see start talking next. Because see, it shouldn't take for people to have to get to Monique's age, Cat Williams' age, We need to shut this down now. We need the young people. Hey, man, this joker here doing me dirty, man. That's one of the people that respected the community that got this good name out here. Oh, they would never do us like that. Let me go ahead and tell you about how they really doing me. Come on with it. So I hope if it's young people listening, talk to us. You can be the difference maker to stand together and say, nope, y'all trying to do us like this and we just not getting in. Put the names out there. The community will support you. If you put the names out there and you stand up on truth, we'll support you. And like I said, the people that are in position, like Monique and Cat Williams, you see what Cat did, whether you like him or not. He saw Monique step out there on faith and say what she needed to say. What Cat do? Come on, go on tour with me, sister. I got you. I'll put some bread in your pocket. Come on, go with me. See, that's how it's supposed to work. You ain't got to agree with everything Cat say. You ain't got to like him. I'm talking about how we treat each other. You understand? That's how we need to do it. Let's let it continue.
And is when you get the syndication. When you get the syndication. When you get the syndication. Well, 3 years in, the Parkers was in syndication. Now, no one told me that. You learn it once you open your eyes, because now I'm going around the country doing promos. The Parkers is coming on at 4 o'clock in your city. The Parkers will be on at 2:30 in Sacramento. Y'all make sure y'all watch the Parkers. It's coming on. I'm not knowing I'm promoting the show in syndication. No one told me that. All we're doing is saying if we get to 5 years, we got to 5 years. 110 episodes. Me and a beautiful young lady named Countess Vaughn, who was my baby to this day. We had the Laverne and Shirley law. Yeah. Right? You're supposed to be equal.
Yeah.
Once we got to the 5 years, our attorney, my attorney, and the agents said, oh, the Parkers made money. Y'all gonna get paid from the Parkers. It's made money. Okay. Years go by. By 2004, the Parkers, we went off the air in 2004, right? In 5 years, by 2009, the Parkers had made $800 million.
You're like, oh, yeah.
Stay
money,
with me.
Money.
Money.
Yeah.
Hey, come
money,
on. Hey, yeah. All right. Okay. Because we waiting to get this money standing. Oh, check is coming. We get a call. We got to do an audit, and everything. Okay. And that was in 2009 that it made $800 million. We're now in 2024. And they're trying to convince Countess Vaughn and I that show made no money.
No.
They're trying to convince us that a show that cost roughly $65 million to make. In our last year of shooting the Parkers, Countess Vaughn and I made $55,000 apiece.
That's it? How much were you making an episode?
$55,000 an episode.
Okay, so how many episodes did you shoot that last year?
5 years. That last year, we shot 22 episodes.
Okay.
We made $55,000 a piece at the end of a top-rated sitcom.
Hold on, time out.
Man, did y'all hear that? Man, family. They could have made that money working a regular job. You see how dirty they do our people, man. See, a lot of us have told y'all, a lot of these people on TV like that, they're not making no real money like that. Very few of them are getting paid what their white counterparts are getting. $55,000, man, that's a regular job. That's a 9 to 5. Now, here's the insult to injury. You think about their white counterparts with shows that are not even half as funny, making 5 times that amount. And you got to go to these award shows and sit in rooms with them, and they know how their people are lowballing you like that, and then you gonna have other black people aiding lowballing you? Absolutely despicable, man. We can set some consequences for it, though. It's just a matter of everybody in the community coming on code and say, listen, nah, this stops now. And if you participate in that towards our people with them folks, we gonna treat you like them folks. Let it continue.
Are you saying you made $55,000 for 22 episodes? Or are you saying you made $55,000 per episode? Because I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Let me make sure you hear me correctly. We did 22 episodes.
Yes.
We were paid $55,000 per episode.
Okay.
For 22 shows.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, yeah.
That's on a hit show.
Right.
That is unheard of.
Yeah.
Because we're two black women. I don't know to fight for it.
Right.
Countess is a baby in this business. So I don't know to say that.
We should be making 100,000, 150, 200,000 an episode.
So now today, y'all want to convince us that that show made no money? That show has made over $2 billion, and I'm guesstimating. And you want to convince us that our percentage, we made no money? We can't allow that to happen.
Right.
That's why we're fighting. That's why we're saying, no, guys, we can't sit on our hands like that.
Right.
You know how many of us, when you watch Good Times, when you watch The Jeffersons, when you watch Sanford and Son, whose family is benefiting from our images? Because the damn show ain't ours.
Wow.
You see why I fight the way I fight?
Yeah.
Because if it does not make sense, you have to explain it. And I'll go back to Tyler Perry. You know why Tyler Perry don't want to talk to my husband? Because he can't talk around him. My husband don't care nothing about that man's money. We don't care nothing about your title. We care about your character, brother. We care about your integrity.
And what you gonna pay? What you gonna pay?
How you gonna make it right? How you gonna make it right? Because if I am your Aunt Mary, and I really belong to you, as I really belong to you right now, Shannon, I am your sister. Mm-hmm. And you heard something that was wrong.
Yeah. How can Tyler Perry make it right, Mo? Give you a job, give you a sitcom, say, Mo, okay, you know what, Mo? Sitcom, you're gonna be the executive producer, I'm gonna be a co-executive producer, you're gonna do the sitcom.
If somebody cost you, Shannon Sharp, millions of dollars,
yes,
do you want to be compensated for what they cost you for a lie and a rumor?
Yeah.
So at that time, I was making roughly between $2 and $3 million a year.
Right.
I sat in that for over a decade, like 12 years.
Right.
You do the math. Over a lie that he admitted that he told. Not something I'm making up. Mm-hmm. You admitted that, brother. How do you make that right?
I'm sure you got lawyers. Have you had a conversation?
Well, what happens is when you take somebody at their word, time. We don't need to go to no lawyers, Tyler. You know what you did. Just make it right.
And that right there is where our good sister made the mistake. Let me tell you. If you made an error towards me in good faith, then I can give you time to come to me. If you deliberately made an error towards me, ain't no conversation. You will be talking to my attorneys. Because now you playing with food on my table. You playing with money that's coming out of my pocket. Once you go there, I look at that as the same thing as if you was to walk up and physically harm me. You tried to hurt me and my family. Now I got to put them people in your life. Didn't want to do it. Didn't have to do it if you would have did the right thing. But if you make me have to go there, and I'm telling everybody in my chat room, somebody make you have to go there and they deliberately harm you, don't be afraid to put them people in their life. You do what you need to do to take care of your business. Because, see, a lot of people are like, man, they're wrong. You shouldn't have to do that. No. I'm not wrong for taking action to make sure that I get justice. You wrong for producing the injustice in the first place. That's who's wrong. There's only one wrong when somebody deliberately harms you, the person that deliberately harmed you. Okay? Hey, I'm just telling you, man, as far as I'm concerned, you start playing with my money now, we finna have some problems then. So let it continue.
And if he doesn't make it right, what will our community do? What will our community say? Because today it's me, tomorrow it's you. Then what?
Yeah.
We've got to hold him accountable. What Cat say? You got to tell Tyler Perry, come on now. You got to do it, Shannon. You got to tell him.
You got to tell it. Mo, obviously, when you do stand-up, you go to a lot of different cities, a lot of different clubs.
Yes.
It's a lot of different promoters. Has everybody always been on the up and up with Monique, or did you try? Sometimes people try to take advantage. You're female. You're black. You're heavy.
You're not going to say that like Mr. from Color Purple. You're black. You're ugly. You're not going to do that, Shannon.
But, you know, people would try to take advantage of anyone. But seemingly like us, their team were willing to take more advantage of us.
I've had to tell the promoters, call the police. because either they're going to come get you or me.
They trying to hold up on the money?
Call the police because, and this was like $75. Can you imagine? $75, like, you know where we come from.
Yeah.
If somebody gets you for $25, that's a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Imagine 25 million.
Yeah.
We've seen people lose their life for $25.
For sure.
Imagine somebody getting you for millions. How you supposed to feel? Would you let it go?
Nah, hell no.
Right. So when people say, Mo, just let it go.
Yeah, but it's easy for people to say let it go when they haven't lost anything.
Come on, baby.
It's easy to say.
Come on.
But when you've lost, how do you, it's kind of like, you know, hey, someone should just get over it. You can't tell somebody how to grieve, how long to grieve, because you're not the one that's hurting.
They didn't do it to you. They didn't do it to you. It was done. And I will say this right now on your show. I still love y'all. We still love y'all.
You love Mo, they make it right.
My husband, okay, say that again because
you love y'all Mo, y'all make it right.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I fix him a pound cake. my husband would always say, Mama, we ain't calling nobody out. We calling them up. And if we continue to call us up on our doings that are not right, we get better as a people. Like, we get better. Do you know why things were able to happen like they happened on The Color Purple?
Why you think? Oh, you talk about the rebate. You talk about what?
I'm talking about the 7th one. Yeah. The one that just came out.
Right.
Right. Isn't that the 7th edition?
It's like the musical with Fantasia and Taraji, right?
Right,
okay.
right. That one with all our beautiful sisters.
Yes.
You know why they're able to treat us like they treat us? How are you handpicked and you audition?
No, if you handpick, you don't audition.
I want you to say that again, Shannon, because people don't understand how deep this goes. When I watch my sister say it was an honor to be handpicked,
right?
Then why ever would you audition?
Yeah.
And the moment, in my opinion, the moment she auditioned, they knew we got them. We can treat them any kind of way we want to treat them. We can do them any kind of way.
But why would you want to?
Why?
Just because you can, that doesn't mean you should.
But they did. But they did. How do you handpick me and then mistreat me?
Yes.
And then I got to send a letter to you about the mistreatment that you gave me. That's why they're able to get away with it. That's why when I do interviews, oftentimes, or these conversations, people are too afraid to even address it because they don't want to be caught up like, oh, I don't know. When you say, wait a minute, no, that's the truth.
Right.
I heard it. And I don't want my character to be on the line as I'm being a person sitting there asking people about their lives,
right,
and then not be able to stand in what I've heard.
Right.
That's why it made so much, it was important for us. It was important for us to get you that audio. I don't want you to take my word.
Yeah.
And anything I've said on this couch right now, that don't take my word. Ask those people. Ask those people.
Right.
And see what happens. And then maybe after this come out, they're going to label me again. She's bitter. She's not loved.
Yeah. You done got 30, 40 million of my dollars. Yeah, I'm bitter. Most the average person gonna be bitter.
Okay, I just want to look in your camera. Okay. And here's the thing. Because I got a king at home, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
You just want what's right.
We just determined.
Right.
Not life is too good to be bitter, but we're determined for you to take accountability.
Right.
That's all.
So there you have it, family. That's the portion of the interview that I want to go over here tonight with you all. And see, let me say this in closing, okay? Because you heard everything that the sister had to say. When it comes to where she is now, she's in a position, her and Cat Williams and everybody that he's putting on, they're in position to do what Dave Chappelle did when he said he told Comedy Central to go to hell. Let me tell you what I want to see happen. And I hope that, hey, if by some odd miracle they happen to hear this broadcast, what I want to see happen is this. I want Cat Williams to not only get his money here, hey, set up some international tour dates. Go get that paper over the water, brothers and sisters. Go get it. Because when people shit on you like that and you have to make your own way, you deserve everything that you're able to earn off your own talents. And as far as how we deal with people that they've let us know about, they don't need to get no love from the community at all in anything. And when them folks come for them, they should be on their own. Those are my thoughts on that, family. And like I said, you teach people how to treat you. And those of us that are about something, we need to make sure we do the best we can to treat our brothers and sisters in the community like we want to be treated. So thank you to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Please do be looking out for the broadcast coming up Friday. We got some serious business to handle with Mr. David Lucas, and I use the term Mr. lightly. And I will definitely have a broadcast coming up before that on Wednesday on Patreon. We're going to be dealing with the Vince McMahon issue and a couple of other things. So with that said, family, I want you to enjoy the rest of your night. Take care of yourselves, treat each other right, and remember, when we fight back, we win. Black first, salute, and I shall see you all in future content.
This is the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, Black, American culture, like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
You look at all the boroughs, you got, Money Making Manhattan and Money Earning Mount Vernon and Crooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip hop. First cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix, they want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican fleur as a rhyme. I never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, BX from the West Side. I am the first break dancer.
That narrative that hip hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip hop. Hip hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip hop.
The roots of hip hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
I know for a fact that the B-boy stand started from the guards, the 5%ers that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.
So when we talk about hip hop and what it is, it's an extension of the music and the instrumentation that our forefathers created.
Check out the live stream premiere of the documentary short, It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, The Black American Family Tree, and Q&A, a fundraiser to create a series detailing music's evolution. Go to DewanB.com for streaming passes and crowdfunding.